This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. See, he's my property. And any girl that touch, I might just call your bluff. 'Cause I don't give a who are you to come myself. Oh, I'ma wish you well. 'Cause any girl that tried has failed. Where my girls at? From the front to back, where's you feeling that? Put one hand up, can you repeat that? Trying to take my man, see I don't need that. So don't play yourself. Where my girls at? From the front to back, well, is you feeling that? Put one hand up, can you repeat that? Try to take my man, see I don't need that. So don't play yourself. I got it right this week, y'all. I got it right this week. Hello, welcome back to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. I am Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, record. I don't know why Didi and I had a hard time. I looked at those lyrics like, I don't words because I don't like this. I was here like, I don't know if these are the right words. I don't like these are the right words. Everybody in this giggle you hear, first of all, I have been following her, stalking her for a little while now because I be loving like her stories. She be giving me so much life because I'm like, I kind of like this. And I was very jealous of my friend Taria. I'm like, she been on your podcast? No, I have to ask. But if you said who asked her, I asked her. I asked Miss Giselle, the Brooks that I like, not the Brooks in Dubai.
Oh, child, bringing dishonor to my name. Dishonor to my name. I mean, honestly, it's only my name for one more week. But
girl, she's like, you're lucky I'm changing, because if not, I'd be dragging your ass on my podcast. Mm-hmm. You're embarrassing these Brooks, okay?
I already have to drag somebody else with my name from Potomac.
Come on, Giselle. See, I'm in the Green Eye Bandit Society, but I'm in the Dixon district. I feel like I'm a contractor.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with me and the Green Eyed Bandits. I'm not a part of the society at all. Mm-hmm. I get their purpose, that's to make the show go round. Mm-hmm. But I am in the opposite. And something so funny. Somebody asked me they're like, "Oh, are you like Team Wendy?" I'm like, I'm not even necessarily Team Wendy, but I'm just not a Green-Eyed Bandit at all. But the funny thing is, Giselle and I have the same name. She spells hers differently. And then me and Robin are both Aries. So I'm like taking a look within. I'm like, what does this mean about me?
What does that say? Because I'm a Leo, so it's like other fire signs. I'm like, I kind of fucks with them, and I'm like, it's probably why I fuck with Robin. She's also from Baltimore, so it's
the thing with, I do understand. I go back and forth. I'm always like, I don't even know if I would be good on reality TV, and how people will be like, Robin is boring, like I'm like, yeah, because I'm chilling until I'm not.
That part.
And then when I'm not, it's rat-tat-tat time.
Rat-tat-tat-tat.
I didn't agree with her, but like when she was drunk and all that stuff got brought up when Ashley came in with her breast milk, I was like, no, I get that. Like, I don't agree with what Robin's saying, but I get it. She's fucked up. And she's like, oh, I'm going to fuck myself. Okay. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
It was like,
but I'm like, I don't even, when I'm like, first of all, I'm drunk. I'm having a good time. I don't even care to be here. And then you're trying to yell at me? Okay.
It's like, girl, do you know how we just did a whiskey flight or tequila flight? Bitch, you want a real conversation?
Yep. And then Robin was throwing them back.
I mean, for real, it's like I ain't see no food, not a cracker,
not
they tossed salad in the kitchen. I'm like, girl, I don't know.
Not a nan charcuterie board. Okay, I saw no food, and because I work in bars, so when I saw her doing that, I said, ooh.
I don't see any food. Y'all just drinking.
And that's crazy because they're older than me, and I need some.
Girl,
I need a cracker. If I have more than 2 drinks, I'm gonna need a cracker. Okay,
you okay? I'm like, girl, yeah. Just let me sit here and be quiet. So I'll leave
the function. I will leave the function, and first of all, don't invite me nowhere if there ain't no food. Okay.
Hello.
Please don't invite me. But actually, I was gonna say something, but nah, I don't know if my friend would listen to this. Actually, I don't care. We were getting ready for my friend's wedding like 3 weeks ago, and she had some little fruit trays, and I said, "Girl, what is this?" By the time we got to that reception, they put that food in front of me. I looked like an animal. I was like,
cocktail hour? No tidbits, no tapas, nothing. Oh my!
When you're in the wedding, you don't really go to that because you're taking pictures. Right. But I'm not gonna lie, it was hot that day, and I was like, and then we had some seltzers and stuff. I said, if you want these eyes open and me to be lively, we gonna need to take this bus through a drive-through.
Please do. I'm like, I don't understand, y'all. What is this? Leanne Locken went to the damn drive-through in between her wedding and reception. I can see why, but literally, it's like, girl.
Oh, a lot of people do that and I'm sitting here thinking now because I know how I am between getting ready and breakfast and then dinner. I'm not going. Everybody keeps telling me they're like, you're not even going to be able to eat. Yes, the fuck I am. All right, let me.
Unless you want me to. No, we cuss up in here.
Okay.
But I'm like, unless you want me to pass out, unless you want to clean up on aisle 2, please give me something. Give me
Everyone's like, you're not even going to be able to eat. You're going to be so excited. First of all, we got a sweetheart table for a reason. Y'all don't come up to this table. Do not come up here.
I love it.
Me. Okay. Don't think about it.
Oh, yeah.
I knew when I saw Robin throwing them drinks back, I said,
I was like, Robin, my kind of bitch. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm like, she the one is like, let's go bar hopping at our big old age of 40. It's like, oh, bitch, yes, absolutely. She's like, come on, where you want to go? What time you want to go? Where you want to go?
I do. She does seem fun.
I agree with Funky when he said Robin seemed like the most that I would want to hang out with. I'm like, she's always seemed like that too.
Yeah, I agree with that. See? I would agree.
See?
Actually, the only time I was kind of on Robin's side was with Ashley because I can't. Back in the day, season 1.
Forehead, you are messy. Lives in my head rent free. I'm like, she kind of is, but now it's like, I don't know if it's like, so everybody, we just talking, but I had Giselle from Who Asked Me podcast, and I'm like, yo. So it's like, we're at this point where we've both been watching Bravo for a while, and it's like, as long as you watch it, your watching evolves. Because before it's like, I can't stand a bitch and fuck her, and now I'm like, she's needed for the show.
She is. She needs to be there. See, and this is my thing. I was always a person, like when I watch these shows, I never was like, oh, I don't like them, so they need to be fired. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily how I feel. I think everybody has a place. The only people I really think that should be fired are like Ramona and now Diana, because racism.
Man, that was such a mud duck. It's like, this is just...
The amount of times I read when she posted that, I read it so many times. I was like,
I'm sorry. Maybe English is not my first language. Because what the fuck did you just say?
I said this can't say what
I think it's saying, because you capitalized the B. So it's like you talking about a person.
And
so you capitalized B because.
And not only that creator, she didn't even create that meme.
She was just
reposted it. Yeah. People have been sharing that for fucking weeks.
That's what I thought. I was going crazy. I'm like, she's not the first person.
Yeah, I was like, she didn't even make that 1, 2. She got in there talking about in the photo on the left, had just escaped mama. We're not talking about that.
Girl.
Please don't throw your trauma in my face to try and make an excuse. You have a different face. So does Kyle. So does, we're going to assess the same face, kind of. Dorit, all of them have different faces. It's fine.
It's fine. And then we found out that Kyle has a breast reduction. Thank you, Andrew. She was like, well, I didn't tell anybody. He's like, oh, I'm like, yeah.
Wait, when did she say that? On
Watch What Happens Live? So Watch What Happens Live, when she was on, Andy just asked her, oh, how's the breast reduction going? And like, how you doing after that? And she said, I'm not telling everybody yet, Andy. And he was like, oh. He's like,
Andrew is a mess.
He is a menace. He is such a menace.
Especially if he's been drinking.
And you know damn well he drunk and Watch What Happens Live. You know that bitch is drinking.
Oh, I've heard that when you go to Watch What Happens Live, they like, when you walk in the door, they're like, here's a drink. Like, they will have you sauced. But you see that picture of him and Garcelle and Dorit in Dubai and Boy George and not Dubai in Cannes?
They're in Cannes, and I'm like, why are y'all in Cannes right now?
Right. For something, the Bravo
Cannes, and I'm like,
yeah, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. And I'm like, okay, is this new? What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Yeah, but I saw that picture of him. I said, oh, Andrew is sauced.
Oh, that man looks like he never turns down a drink.
Yeah.
And his kids are at home. I don't think the kids are with him. So he's like, I'm definitely going to be drinking today.
Oh, yeah. Now, I ain't got no kids, but I can only imagine that's how something I would be like, too.
Yeah, I'd be the same way. It's like, oh, girl. It's like, no kids? Oh, girl. And I'm not driving. And I'm a driver.
Yep, that's my thing. Don't let me plan on having an Uber or a driver that night, because that's when the real fun is starting.
I'm going to whoop it up.
I'm gonna be on somebody's dance floor like that TikTok. Where's the trail on the dance floor? That is me.
I was like, where's the trail on the dance floor? I'm like, that's where I'll be. See y'all later.
I will be on. Find me doing the electric slide, leading it.
Please. Okay? Like, park. We got a Soul Train line coming. They're like, why the fuck are y'all doing a Soul Train line? Because bitch, it's a dance floor. What you mean?
One time at brunch, I started the electric slide at brunch one day. And when I tell you, these white people looked at me like they didn't know what happened, but they listen. I had a whole lot of people behind me by the time I was done, because I was just doing it myself.
You're like, this is my dance party. Y'all can
me and my friends just started doing it ourselves right next to our table. And then by the time we were done, I turned around. I said,
hey.
I said, hey,
folks. Hi there.
I said, hey, y'all. Okay, sit down.
My name's Giselle with an S. How y'all doing?
I said, sit down now.
Okay, I'm a just put my little finger up and tip on out, because you know it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yep, gotta go. Let me go on out. Let me go on out. So y'all, I asked Miss Giselle to come here because Ultimate Girls Trip, because I refuse to call it by that hashtag because it sounds like an STI. Right. I'm like, it's not, you have regret. Yep, oh my God, what am I gonna tell my man? You tell all your people that you got regret. That's how it sounds. So I call it Ultimate Girls Trip, and season 2 dropped with 3 episodes.
Yes, it did. Woo!
Can I tell you, that's the thing. First season, I had no expectations for first season, because I'm like, okay, I guess. And then by the end of it, I kind of liked it, and it gave me a new perspective on 3 people. Well, 3. Yeah, 3.
Which 3?
Teresa. I kind of was like, I can't see. I'm like, this is probably Teresa that everybody else knows, and seemingly is the one they like. Is it 4? It's 4 actually. Kyle, which I'm like, yeah, she's the travel friend. That's the person you want to travel with, because it's like, you seem like you can chill, have a night. Oh, you want to go to bed? Yeah, let's go to bed. She'll be that person. She's a good travel buddy, because I feel like she wouldn't leave you stranded in no country. It's like, girl, we're going to go together. Kenya Moore, who I was like, I kind of like her. She seems fun. And unfortunately, Cynthia Bailey. I'm like, you don't work outside of Atlanta.
Now, let me tell you something. I agree with Teresa, but then I just went right back to where I started with Teresa when New Jersey came on, because I said,
Teresa,
we did so much work. We did so much work in the off season, babes. We were
rooting for you.
We really were. And I also can't stand her fans, so that's another thing. And like the diehard
the tree huggers,
like the diehard people who have like no sense and just blindly follow her. I got into an argument with one in the comments.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I was like, first of all, you started this with me. What the
you
hell?
came to my reply. If you don't like it, bitch, you argue with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But and then let me tell you something. I don't want to do nothing with Kyle Richards. I get what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but I don't want to do nothing with that lady. She gets on my nerves. Not to quote Candy, she gets on my nerves. She's pushing it. Okay.
Oh my God. Well, at least your voice ain't shaking. So.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you hear the voice shaking. I'm like, Candy is pissed because the voice is shaking.
When the voice starts shaking, she started to act like she's about to cry. I'm like, Candy, you're supposed to be reading someone down.
Hey, what you mean?
Why is your voice shaking?
Did she really say that I'll be girl?
See that TikTok of that person imitating her?
Yes, I said if that ain't spot on, I don't know what else.
So good. Well, she don't know damn well better.
Like if that ain't Candid Burris Tucker, I don't know who else it is.
And then Kenya, I agree with too. I did see a different side. Cynthia, I felt like Cynthia was a little I don't know. I don't want to say misrepresented. Mm-hmm. I felt like with her, I got what she was saying when she was talking about, like, I thought me and Kenya were coming in here together, and people don't generally like Kenya. Is eating it up. And I did agree with that because people usually everybody went in there was like, I'm scared of Kenya, I'm scared of Kenya, I'm scared of Kenya.
Right.
And then she did better. She performed better because, it's easy to perform better when Ramona's around. But I just think that even though I feel like Kenya, since she was just like eating up all the attention and all the good, like feedback she was getting from people, she did kind of leave Cynthia like astray and then tried to act like, I didn't like the room scene when Kenya was upset and Kyle went in there and Kyle was like, oh, no cameras. Okay, well, the cameras weren't, I felt that was really set up because they just said, oh, told Cynthia, Kenya's upset. And she goes, oh, okay. Cynthia was just doing her job. She didn't say, come with me. You know what I mean? And then
that's true. That's true.
Why would you bring the cameras in here? Kyle didn't bring it. Well, no, Kyle did bring the cameras in here, and then we picked it up. And Kyle said, "Oh, she wants no cameras." I wasn't in the room. How am I supposed to know if you don't want any cameras? If we're filming a fucking show?
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. And then
that's the problem with those two. And that's the problem with Kenya and Cynthia, because it's been little stuff here and there. If you're saying we're building a friendship, it's like, I'm going to look at you sideways. And then it's like, oh, you ruined my engagement. I'm going to look at you sideways. And y'all never really talked about that. And I can tell. It's like, y'all are not talking about y'all issues. And then you get to this island, because I think Cynthia was banking on, everybody came to me to ask about Kenya, but you're not asking anybody who's off camera with her. That is what I've noticed. A lot of people who deal with Kenya off camera, like, she's so nice and we like her. You talking about the on camera people. That's different. Exactly. It seems like she's different. It's like she looked like she clock in. Okay.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
It's like, oh, she clocks in. I'm like, yeah, and she be eating this shit up. So it's like,
I mean, that's part of it. That's why she's, been on the show so long. That's why she's great at her job. But yeah, she definitely, there's two different, and I'm sure that there's two different everybody's, you know what I mean?
Correct.
The only person I feel like is probably the same is probably Crystal. Because she just,
you noticed that too, right? I'm like, I don't think she's putting on for the cameras. I think that's how she is all the time.
No, I think that's how she is, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with Crystal, honestly. I just we need to. I think by the time we got, if Crystal makes it to a third season, which I hope she does, then I think she's gonna have it down.
Yeah,
I think she's gonna have it down by third season because she does eat the girlies up. She eats the BH girlies up with them words, and that's why
she really did.
That's why I do like Crystal, because she says she has those words and she stays calm, and she doesn't get like Sutton, like, oh my God.
No, stop it right now. You let me talk. I don't like screaming at me. I don't like screaming at me. I saw it. And I went,
story when she said, stop it, because I like you and I don't want to. She was pointing that finger. I said, if a white woman spoke to me like that.
And you better get, and I'll be like, Candy, and why you doing all of this with your fingers? I'm like, girl, get your finger out of my face.
I would have got up from that table and they would have been like, where are you going? Sit down. We need to finish the talk.
No.
I've been like, y'all need to, when she fixes that tone, then we can have a talk because I'm not your fucking servant. I don't even fucking work for you. I'm your equal. So please don't talk to me like I'm your fucking kid or anybody who works for you.
Right.
When she said, stop it. I said, my mom ain't, my damn mama ain't even talked to me like that since I was a kid.
Like a whole child. Because when she was telling Crystal how to apologize, I'm like, do y'all see what's going on here right now? I'd be like, who the fuck are you talking to? You ain't even, you got all this base, but you ain't give it to Erica. You back the fuck down.
Hello. And I hate when people tell others how to apologize, Amanda, on Summer House, and then turn around and give
a piss poor ass apology.
Hello?
You're like, I'm gonna tell you how to apologize. You first, madam.
And maybe it's the Black woman in me. I'm not telling you how to apologize. If you come to me with the, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, I'm going to laugh at you and I'm going to keep it moving because that's on you. I'm not a teacher. I'm clocked out. I'm not going to like, you know what I mean? I don't have the time for that, but I'm also not about to police your words. You said what you wanted to say, which is, I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. That's what you wanted to say. I'm not about to fix it. I'm accepting you for who you are.
Exactly. It's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Bitch, I'm sorry I feel that way too. But that's not act on your part. So you don't know how to apologize. So you don't think anything's wrong. So guess what? We're not doing this.
Exactly. If you don't think anything's wrong, then okay.
It's like,
I'm not about to sit here and convince you. I know your ass wrong.
Pretty much. So, it's like, girl, get out my face. If you don't just leave us the fuck alone, please go the hell away.
I don't want to go anywhere with Kyle, but I do I know that she wouldn't leave you astray because she couldn't even leave Ramona astray. Sure. But I will say this, honestly, in the first 3 episodes, I was worried about this Bluestone Manor girls trip. In the first 3 episodes, I'm gonna be honest, I'm having more fun with these wives than I did the first season.
That's, you know what? And that's interesting because there are people like, I don't like this. I'm like, I have a theory as to why you probably don't. So for everybody, okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was like, okay, we only have, I don't know, it was just the pairings because I was thinking about it. I was like, I mean, the last girls trip, we only had 2 Black women also, but it's the white people that were on this second season. I was like, I don't know, because Tamara and Vicky, I was like, that's like 4 white people in 2, all right?
Pretty much.
So I was like, and Taylor kind of too. So I was like, oh Lord, what are we about to, see? But I think the dynamics work and I'm enjoying it.
So that's the thing. So am I. I'm like, I kind of like this. It's different. They're like, they went Turk and Caicos first season and Bluestone Manor. I'm like, so here's the problem. When Dorinda was on Roni, every season they had the Berserkers episodes. So it totally made sense to me. I'm like, no, it makes sense to me. Especially because you got an anti-vaxxer who can't go out the country because she refused to get vaccinated. So where the fuck we going?
Period.
And it's like, where we going?
Because Vicky did mess a lot of stuff up for them. Like she did
her back. And I'm like, and why?
I'm already tired of Vicky. Listen, I ain't never liked Vicky. I never liked the OG of the OC. Y'all, everyone talking about, oh, she used to be so fun. I always knew that was a conservative, ignorant white woman. Okay. And even when they Eva was fangirling or whatever over her, she's like, I thought we were going to whoop it up. I'm like, we're only showing the whoop it up signs. In those 14 years, we had equal, if not more, non-whoop it up, screaming about the family.
Victoria.
Like, hello?
It's like Victoria got y'all food.
That woman is a menace to society.
Completely. And she's a Debbie Downer. So really, for everybody who doesn't know who's on this second season, so from Orange County, you got Tamara and Vicky, because I feel like if you're gonna bring Tamara, you're gonna have to, if you're gonna bring Vicky, you gotta bring Tamara and vice versa. Even though you really could bring somebody else, but it's not gonna work unless both of them there, and it's super weird. From Beverly Hills, you got Taylor and you got Brandy, and you're like, this is weird. It's like, all right, we're gonna keep going. Atlanta, you got Eva and Phaedra, and then you got Dorinda and Jill from Roni, and I'm just like, who is asking for this? Because I'm like, yeah, I would have swapped out at least 4 people that I just listed.
Who would you have swapped out?
So for Vicky, I honestly would have swapped out for Gina. One, because I want to see if Tamara and Gina really did work their shit out. Because you throw a drink on me, you gonna fight. but maybe y'all worked it out. So it's like, if not, y'all can work it out here.
Me and you gonna hit we are not gonna stop fighting till the dawn. Okay.
Right. It's like, oh, it's forever. Now, as much as I did not enjoy her on Beverly Hills because I thought she was an asshole, inebriated, under the influence, and sober, I would have swapped out Taylor for Kim Richards. And I'm saying that like this is chaotic energy for someone who's supposed to be sober and dealing with Dorinda, who's cosplaying as sober between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Monday through Wednesday. I'm like, this would have been chaotic, but I think Dorinda would have been like, I understand you're sober, so I'm going to have some sober options for you for every meal. Dorinda seems that type, but it's like, yeah, I would have done this. I would have done this.
Oh so my God.
With Atlanta. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think we will ever see Kim Richards again.
I don't necessarily hate that because, well,
it's dark. She has a dark energy.
She's a dark energy. If she was an asshole, let's be very clear. You're an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
She's an asshole.
But I just have such a mixed relationship with Kim because I don't at the end there, especially like that season with her and Renna, I said, this is
a little bit too dark. And Renna, you're a baby back bitch because you let that lady cry by just showing you a blue bunny. Girl, I wish the hell I would have like,
hello,
Andrew, do you have a trash can? Put the bunny in the trash can. Now, what else is going on? Because I swear she wouldn't have seen me sweat nor cry at all. Don't you cry for her.
But Kim kept the girlies on their toes.
She really did.
I will say that, but I can't see her on TV, and I don't think we ever will because I think her sisters are blocking it, even though she needs to work. But whatever, that's a whole different story.
So unfortunately, if it wasn't for litigation, we could have gotten Lanithia in that house with Phaedra, because I feel like they would have been fun. Because let's be very clear, I would have swapped out both Eva and Phaedra for Nene and Lisa Wu Hartwell. Because Lisa Wu seems like fun. And I'm like, yeah. But I mean, after I saw that like thing with Carlos King, and Lisa Wu does not take too kindly to Nene always talking about she want Kim back, and she don't never say me. Lisa, I'm the only one that says you. It's like, I'm the only one who says you. So there's that.
You know what? People gonna be mad at me, whatever. I already have. I have missed Miss Phaedra Parks on my screen. Even the small, because Phaedra makes the like scenes that are not about her, that she doesn't have anything to do with really.
She's good TV.
Ad-libs, those ad-libs are freaking
that congestion seems different. I'm like,
oh my God. But we gotta talk. We'll get there. But when she said, Brandy was like, I haven't been out of the house in a year. Everyone, they paying over. Bless her heart.
Phaedra, please.
Screamed. I said, bless her heart. And she just like, still
so now, Phaedra. Okay, fine. I'll just swipe out Miss Eva, because this Eva was more entertaining in 3 episodes than 3 seasons on Atlanta. And I'm America's Next Top Model watcher, because I remembered Eva the Diva. And I'm like, y'all don't remember her. That's why I'm like, girl, what is this? What is this? So from New York, to combat the Vicky of it all, I would have swapped out Jill for Carol Radziwill. She'd have dug in Vicky's ass so fucking quick. And Dorinda likes her. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's easy. It's like, get her in here. Get her in this house. Because Carol been like, really? Is that how you feel? Vicky, I don't understand.
So because that whole, we can just get into it now. With that whole anti-vax thing, where Dorinda definitely flew off, and I was like, oh, she's starting. She's starting.
She's starting.
She can't communicate because one, she's drunk, and two, she is a really like passionate person. So she was like flying off the handles. Carol would have sat there and read Vicky to filth. Now, whether Vicky would have let herself get read to filth, by Carol, I don't know, especially on that matter.
Yeah,
I don't know, but that would have been good because it would have been a more like calm, like you sound like an idiot. I mean, she sounded like an idiot regardless. But you notice Tamara put Vicky on blast because Vicky was like, no, I had COVID like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. And Vicky said, you had it last week.
It was like, you breathing, you raw dogging the air in front of me, and you had COVID last week.
I would have been fucking pissed.
It's like, are you?
You could tell.
You up here Phaedra, hugging us.
You could tell Phaedra was kind of like,
well, I got vaccinated. No, Jesus is going to fix it if I catch the vid. That's how that face looked. That's it.
That's what, because like she said, I was under the impression we were all vaccinated. And now the congestion got me thinking otherwise, because Vicky is up there.
It was like,
I cannot stand.
Girl, that don't sound like allergy congestion. I'm somebody who suffers from seasonal allergies. Don't sound like allergy congestion. Not allergies.
Tamara be sending her friend up too, though, because
she sure
why
did.
are you taking all that?
Ain't because you want to trade.
Well, I don't understand them sometimes, because Tamara she's pretty, I don't want to say liberal, I don't want to say that, but she votes.
She's very moderate. Yeah. I would put her as a moderate. I really would.
Yeah. And I know that she like was very anti-Trump, and she's like, because I think her son or something.
Yep. Her oldest son, Lord Hammers, and then her younger son literally dug into his ass. I'm like, how you let this little boy read you to filth? So he was like, fuck him. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, she dug into one of her sons asked for being a Trump supporter. Was like, you're an idiot. And I know she believes in, medicine, science, and things like that. So that's what I'm like, okay, you just set Vicky up, is what you
really did. I'm like, you're supposed to be her bestie, but you still do. This is what I enjoy about Tamara, because I do enjoy Two T's in the Pod because of her, and not because of John Cougar Mellencamp's daughter. Because she is just so tiresome. So this little thing between her and Vicky is so fucking hilarious. Because I'm like, y'all are both horrible. Because
terrible.
It's like, Vicky, you're not quick, and I know how you are. Because if she had said, where were you January 6th? Hey, how's that scamming diet thing you got? When people gotta gotta drink vibes and suck on air, and they gotta weigh it like every quarterly, like every 3 hours. It's like, girl,
I've been like, just as good as you giving people eating disorders. Why?
Hello. It's like let me know. It was like, because I'm like, this is how I know Vicky is not a reader, and she ain't all that quick. I'm like, I brought that up real quick.
Also, she could have been like, well, where is your husband's security company?
Security going? Like, who? I'm like, wait a minute, who's your other clients? Because they better like get a new security system. Don't sound like he got a good track record. See how that works?
The way I simply would have just been like, where was your husband in his security system when the recent Kyle's house got robbed?
Listen here, Teddy Bear. You got way too much shit that someone can throw at you, because, hey, you're the reason why Crystal was on our screen. To a certain extent, we like you, but I have noticed that because, she in the beta group, she went from Crystal being her friend to now she's saying her and Crystal are friendly. And I went, oh.
Yeah. She's just such a fucking follower.
I was sitting here like, because it's like after the first episode, I think the first couple episodes, let me listen. Because to Tamara's credit, she was extremely fair about Orange County, because she really was like, I don't understand what's going on with Heather. And Heather's her friend. I think they had like a tiff. And I'm putting tiff in quotes. But the thing about it is, like, Heather, you have a whole podcast where you break down every damn episode, but you're mad about what Tamara's looking at?
Right. Which I don't really care for Heather in the first place either. So whatever. But yeah, I agree with that. It's like, I can't have a podcast, but Heather.
But you can.
Yeah, and Heather had it when she wasn't on the show either, and I'm not on the show. Y'all fired me. You know what I mean? So why can't I have it?
Why can't I have this? So it's kind of like, she was fair. And I'm like, let me listen to see if Teddy is going to be fair. And technically, she's kind of not. And when she said her and Crystal were friendly, we're just in this mommy group together. Bitch, that's not what you were saying in the off season. You said that was your friend. And it's like, because one, she would have came in as Teddy's friend if Teddy was still on the show. And I'm like, okay. Because now it's not looking good for you to be Teddy's friend, but you surely didn't back down from being Erica's friend.
Hello?
Open litigation, bitch.
First of all, Erica's ass, I've stopped feeling it for Teddy when she let Erica punk her. All Erica said was, don't ever say that to me again. Don't ever say that to me again.
To everybody. I'm like,
all she said. I would have been looking at her like she didn't even cuss at you. Don't ever say that to me again. Don't you ever say that to me again.
Like, what is your problem?
I would have been like, but I said what I said.
I said
pretend
what I said.
Amnesia is what I said and what I meant.
Correct. It's like, no, I know what the fuck I said. And like, Teddy, you are a baby back bitch to let Erica punk you. I want to know why Erica keep punking y'all asses except for Garcelle. It's like, see, y'all act like we not scared of Erica. So why the fuck y'all not backing down from her ass? Because I wish the fuck you would talk. I'm like, who are you talking to? Or what? Bitch, or what?
Okay.
What you want to do? Go hide in your casita? Let me know what you about to do.
Okay, we would have had
what? I would have been shaking Ghost the door with my hand in her face. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do?
Or nothing. What? Okay.
It's like, girl, it's like, are y'all? I'm like Whitney Houston at that award show. Do y'all see what the fuck is going on this screen?
Because one day somebody is gonna tell Erica when she does that fake like trying to punk people shit. Mm-hmm. Somebody just gonna say, "Well, I hope so." In Beverly Hills, you don't know. I hope somebody does say, "Let's just go outside." Look, in the words of Jackie Christie, let's just fight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just
let's just fight.
Yeah, or what? Or I'm gonna beat your ass, Erica. How about that?
Because the only time I was like this close to I think we're gonna get a fight was, and it wasn't even involving Brandy. It was Denise and Renna. And I'm like, Denise, beat her ass. Because I'm like, oh, you so angry. I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh, you kidding? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I've been like, you really haven't seen Angry yet, but if you want to get it popping, we can.
You think I'm crazy? I got you crazy. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to beat her ass. If you don't want blood on your cameras, get out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Renna is so low down. I cannot.
It's like, girl, like you and your lips, just, tell Harry to bottle up his sauce so we can get it in stores and out of Andrew's deep freezer because he ain't ate that sauce.
Because he has not that.
He's like, I still haven't done it either. I'm like, so where the fuck is it? Is it? But you not doing
in a Ziploc bag in the freezer with the spaghetti sauce, saving it for a rainy day.
It's like what rain? It's been so rainy lately, but he's not. And he's a whole busy new father, and he's like, yeah, still not defrosting this sauce from Harry when he could have just had Harry handle it.
Literally.
Okay, so let's break down these 3 episodes. We are a mess. Just want to let y'all know. So, episode 1, Return to Bluestone Manor, which is odd because none of these heifers have been to Bluestone Manor. It's like,
exactly.
We're returning, but then it's like when they did the aerial shots, I'm like, the house is big as shit.
Oh, I love that house. I was
like, really this is stunning. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's quiet, it's green, it's birds. Are you kidding me? I'd be like, what you doing? Girl, I'm sleeping.
Exactly.
Now, wake me for lunch or dinner. Let me know.
Exactly. Now, the decorations inside the house, not necessarily, but the actual house itself, the land that it's on, it is a gorgeous house.
Gorgeous. That is a bed and breakfast waiting to happen. When she said Airbnb, I'm like, girl, if you don't turn this into a bed and breakfast.
It is gorgeous. Like, that is like probably like my dream house.
It's just like, oh, this is stunning. I love it. So here is the synopsis for the episode. After settling into their rooms at Bluestone Manor, the ladies bond over shared experiences as former housewives. Dorinda hosts a New England clam bake. Oh my God. And Taylor and Brandy settle in an old score. What? A conversation between Vicky and Dorinda gets heated. So let's talk about the clam bake, which was lobsters. And it was like, first of all, what kind of OnlyFans channel are you doing with you feeding Phaedra and no big old dick sucking lips? I said it.
First of all, I need to back this up a little bit because I hate to see some food go to waste.
Honey,
these women are like, what's a clam bake? What's a clam bake? Shut up and find out. And y'all are in New England. I just know when
y'all were in Massachusetts. How are y'all not going to get lobster?
I said, y'all are taking this for granted and it's not fair. I would love a lobster roll. I would.
Hello?
When she was that, I was like, I would have been right up in there with her. Crack.
Like, oh, we having this? Oh, baby, sit on down.
There's one thing I love. It's some seafood, okay?
Absolutely.
And some fresh seafood at
Absolutely.
that. I was like, eat that lobster, Phaedra. I don't care who's feeding it to you, okay? We are.
It is nice, and it looked fresh, but I was like, her lips are so big.
They really are. One of my like most favorite feelings is cracking open a crab leg and seeing the big juicy meat just like.
Honey, let me tell you something. I have to say Merlin. I'm a Merlander, so I love the blue crabs. Let me tell you something. There's nothing better than cracking open the crab.
Yes.
So I'd have been in. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, Dorinda, don't do it for me. Just which part? Got it. All right, let's go. I know how to crack. Oh, you know how to crack the crab leg. You know how to open the blue crab. You know how to do this. I'm like, which part I start with? But they were like, oh God. I'm like, girl, did you want somebody to like saute this lobster meat and make you a lobster roll? Choose either sauteed butter or mayo. Which kind of lobster roll do you want?
I hate mayonnaise.
I only like mixing with something. Like if I have it on a sandwich, it's got to be like literally the thinnest amount. They're like,
yes, thank you.
Like, you didn't use the whole mayonnaise packet. All I need is this little corner. They're like, really? Yes,
thank you. I need the thinnest layer of mayonnaise ever. Like I get its purpose, and like you can maybe do like a medium layer of aioli, but I hate. Oh, I can't even look at it.
It's like girl, ick. Yeah. So we're at the
I'm a butter.
Yeah, it's a butter roll. I'm like, it's something about. Oh, this is good. It's like, oh, this is good. So Taylor versus Brandy selling a old score. They didn't settle shit because the thing about it is I remember that reunion where she brought up, you did the book, and it was like, why do you care? But then you hear Taylor explaining why she did it. It's like, you would think you would have backed down by now. And you did. Yeah. That was the worst year of my life. The worst year of your life. We're not diminishing it, but the fact is like, this man not only unalived himself, everybody knew about it.
And he was beating her right after we found out he was beating her up.
It was like,
you know what? When we got that flashback, I realized what Camille did back then, but for whatever reason, watching it back, because I did like a Beverly Hills rewatch from the beginning in COVID, like when COVID first started. I did Beverly Hills and Atlanta. So like watching that back, like especially at my big grown age now, I was like, I couldn't believe she did it back then, but I was like, I cannot believe she fucking did that on camera because that, and I, as Taylor, I don't even know what I would have done because you just told the whole world that he beats me up and they're definitely going to use it. And I'm the one that has to go home with him. Like,
and I'm the one that's going to ask questions about. They're not asking Camille, they're asking you. And it's like I didn't want to talk about this. Exactly.
Like, so like you have to think about that. I was like, damn, I never forget that we can't stand Camille, but like
it was, and the thing about to this day, she will say, well, Vanderpump put me up to it. Baby, you're a grown-ass woman. You cannot sit here and say as a grown-ass woman, some grown-ass woman put you up to something. Okay. Because one, you could have literally said, okay, so there's a line. I'm like, I'm not doing your dirty work for you. If you want to bring it up, you bring it up. And you never did that. It's like, you can say that it was suggested, fine. How and ever, it was still your choice.
Exactly. And I hate when people try to blame LVP because like you just said, you're grown. You can try and convince me to go shopping with you, but if I know I got negative $30 in my bank account, I shouldn't do that. Correct. I know it's wrong. You know what I mean? So Correct. It's like, yeah, LVP probably encouraged you to do it because she's a producer and she knows how to do her job, but that doesn't mean that you should have done it. She doesn't have control of you.
This is not you getting like repossessed your car, you defaulting on a loan. This is so much deeper and darker. And I remember Taylor just sitting there frozen. Like,
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was like,
and it was like, I'm on camera, bitch.
Let me say this. I'm not a Brandy apologist at all because that is also a woman who I think is a menace. I do enjoy watching Brandy on TV though, because God, what a hot mess of a human.
Right.
But I think what Brandy was trying to say at Bluestone Manor in current day was, I think she was trying to talk about herself in that, and not so much that. I think she was saying, I personally was going through a lot, and that was a bad year for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to talk about this other deep stuff, because like Brandy or not, she was going through some deep shit with Eddie and Leanne and everything. And then I'm sitting here with people I don't know, and this woman's talking about her husband. So I think that's what she was trying to say. That's what I picked up on. However, also, you just watched Brandy. That first episode, we just watched Brandy continuously get drunk.
I mean,
I was watching it. I said, "Oh, there she goes."
Nobody, like, you really, because if you look at the pairings, everybody there really came with a friend.
Yep.
Even Taylor, even though it's like she came with, like, she's the Beverly Hills person. She's friends with Tamara and Vicky, so she came with a friend. The only person who didn't was actually Brandy.
Yeah.
She didn't come in with no friends. Everybody else had a friend or like somebody they knew, except for Brandy. It was like,
and the only person she knew she has issues with.
Correct. It was like, that's all she knew. That's the only person she knew is, right, actually two people, yeah, Taylor and Tamara. And I'm like, I'm like, now Tamara, y'all were going back and forth. Let's stop acting like y'all weren't going back and forth, girl.
It was, like, she talked about my grandkids. She didn't talk about your grandkids.
That's not what she said.
Why don't you go hang out with them?
Like, girl,
because I hate when people say that. Like, you talked about no, I just said, why don't you go hang out with your grandkid?
Like, you talked about my grandkids. No, I was talking about you.
I'm just suggesting an activity you can go do with them instead of talking to me. Instead of talking and wasting time on me, you should don't you grandkids take precedence? Something to do? Go talk to them. Yeah, you have something better to do.
Listen here, Simon Finnis, go do your job. Talking about me is not it. So they scandaled and then here go Taylor again saying, I don't want to talk about this. And then when she talked about her face, and it was like, I remember when we used to have little rumblings about her face. And it's like, wait a minute, you did all that work on your face because that man kept hitting you in your face. I said, God damn, I feel horrible. People are like, yeah, I did not realize that's why she kept. She's like, I had to get it on my face because it was like, oh.
Yeah, now. Speaking of plastic surgery, Brandy and Vicky. Yeah. First of all, somebody get Vicky a neck fan. I mean, because when she was like, "It's hot," don't you think it's hot here? Don't you think it's hot? I was like,
"Please get one of them things where they put around it, got a little neck fan and it blows." Because girl, I don't know if you're having a personal summer. I don't know what's going on. You got a whole goddamn pharmacy with you. It's like,
we know what's going on with Vicky.
It's like, ma'am, I get it. You're not getting no dick and it's hot. That's a bad combination.
Tamara even set her off to say it with that too. She said it's not hot. Vicky's having a hot flash, obviously. Hello. Okay.
It seems like she was having her own little personal summer. So I'm like, I don't know why we're not talking about this, Dorinda.
Freaking Tamara talking about it's not hot. Girl, have your friends back. All right, she hot.
At least say that. It's like, do you want a fan? I'm like, Tamara, you're supposed to be her ace, but it seems like you're her deuce.
Yeah, literally. It's not hot. It's not hot, Vicky, but she was melting. I was like, Jesus.
It's like Christ. She looks like I'm like, she's having a moment. I don't know why you're not helping her. And so the anti-vax conversation was at the end of this episode where Dorinda Brandy wasn't the only person overserved that night. It was most definitely Dorinda, but she's always overserved anytime she's at a fucking party. And to a certain extent, it's like, it's fun, but then other times it's like, girl, please sit down and just, here's some bread. Here's some bread. Yeah. Bread. We like bread, right? No. So then you're watching Victoria, who flat out said that she had COVID, going, nope, that's just ridiculous. I'm like, you had the thing that they're doing a vaccine for, and you're still going, fuck vaccines. I am very confused at this math.
Not even fuck vaccines, just fuck that one. Because she did say, because they said,
oh, that's right, she sure did.
She asked her, she said, you don't have any mumps, rubella, nothing. Those have been around for 100 years. Mama, mumps were killing children back in the day. Much like COVID.
Kids were dying from measles. What do you mean?
Running amok amongst us now.
Mm-hmm.
You think people back in the day were like, oh, we don't know, like, we're skeptical, but this is also killing us, so I'm gonna try. But then when she says, I know somebody who died from vaccine.
Girl, because listen, not for nothing, I was sober and I was like, oh, that has set me off real quick.
Me too.
It was like,
me too.
I know somebody that died from what was their underlying condition? Because they had to have some sort of condition. You're not saying a perfectly healthy person. See, that's the problem. You're taking this out of context, but
well, she said she saw it on the internet. She said
then it was a friend, right? Because she's like a friend, and then I saw it on the internet. See, the thing about it, this is why you needed Carol, because Carol would have been like, "Really? What happened?" Dorinda was like, "She too fired up and drunk." Okay,
and not only that, I know what my internet page looks like because I know where I lie in my beliefs and values. So, and we know where Vicky lies with her beliefs and values. So, what do we think Vicky's page, explore pages and shit look like? It's giving conspiracy theories.
It's kind of like, as much as I want to give her just a mustard seed full of grace because she came to Bluestone Manor the day after Steve Lodge dumped her ass, but there's no possible way you spent years with this man, got engaged with this man, and you don't
bought your own ring.
It's like there's no way you don't prescribe to some of his thinking. There's no possible way, so I am not even surprised by this.
Oh, and listen, this is my thing. You're better than me because I don't have a mustard seed of grace for Victoria. That's
the only thing I have grace for. It's like, yeah, if the dude
you're not the only person to get dumped. I hate when people listen. I hate when people make getting cheated on and getting dumped their entire personality. Not to sound insensitive, but people are dying, Kim.
People are dying, Kim.
It's happened before, and I'm not saying don't process it. It definitely hurts. It's definitely gonna hurt. But I hate. I feel this way about Amanda from Summer House too. Okay, you got cheated on. You're not
fuck you.
Or last.
See, this is why for me, I felt like I was a Hub House apologist because I'm like, see, the last person who's going to try to give me life and relationship advice is the woman who married Kyle Cook with an E. You are the last person. It's like, this is why she's like, why are y'all so worried about my fucking pussy? What I'm doing with it? Y'all spend too much time in bed. You are arguing with a man that you don't fuck all the time. Toilet. Girl, it's I'm like, Lindsay was actually having a fun summer, but you're like, oh my God, look what you're doing. Oh my God, Paige, I would spend more time in the pool than the bed that you and Sierra were. I'm like, why is your room disgusting? Y'all not doing anything all day.
Hello. But yeah, so I don't Vicky, I don't feel that badly for her because also she told us the facts that leading up to this, she bought a house in Mexico and he went to live in it.
And y'all didn't fuck for 13 months?
And also, didn't this man run for office in
he was California? Trying to run for governor with Caitlyn Jenner, and I'm like, the jokes write themselves. I'm
wondering how he was living in your house in Mexico and trying to run for governor in California.
And also, why are you buying his ring? I'm like, do you know the amount of things that I would take to my grave? Me buying my own engagement ring because I didn't like the one that he could afford would be top of the list.
That is one of them because when I tell you top of the list things that I refuse to do, and I'm a progressive woman, okay? I am a strong, independent woman. I'm not proposing to a fucking
Absolutely
man.
Not.
I would rather actually get hit by a truck. I would get. I would
Swiffer wet jet the ocean.
Hello, okay.
It's like you ain't that. You're not gonna ask. No.
Yeah, and then the next thing is buy my own ring. No, I'm not doing that.
That's super weird. And I'm like, why are you telling?
And you know what? I bet the ring that he could afford is probably just fine.
But not for Victoria standards. And I'm like, you know what? If you can buy a whole nother house in Mexico, however, you can't buy your whole daughter a car. You got to lease it and tell her to pay for it.
Hello.
I was like, I bought you this car. I'm like, why are you telling? Like, and here's the car. You got to take over the payments. Time out, rich lady. Why the fuck are you buying her an
don't buy me car something I have to pay for.
It's like,
that's not
like, girl.
What did you do? Just you put it in your name?
I would have turned. I'm like, how do I return this lease? Because I don't want this car.
You just went to go pick it up for me.
That's
all you did.
It's on your credit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And that's really crazy because I'm definitely not about to buy somebody something that's going to affect my credit.
Hello, and depreciates like as soon as it left the lot. It's like, girl, why?
Okay,
then why'd you buy her fucking Nissan? It's like, why are you buying her expensive ass car? Get the fuck
hello,
girl.
But yeah, but yeah, that was my thing. And she's sitting there saying, what else did she say that was a red flag with him? That I was just like, and we're shocked how we got here. What was it? Oh, we hadn't had sex in 13 months, and then he wasn't living in California. And then she's like, I don't think there's someone else.
You don't.
What are you talking
about? Unless he was living in a place that was a bubble and had a Ring camera, how do you not?
Speaking of the Ring camera, how Vicky or how Tamara said she had him on lock. How she was like, I'm sure she's sitting there looking at the Ring camera, looking at the miles on her car, looking at like she was. That was the other thing that was a red flag.
Like, wait a minute,
Mama, you had it. Like, what?
Wait a minute. He looked at the ring and the mileage. I'm like, wait, when time out. Then how did she not think that man is remarried, and he remarried within months of breaking up with Vicky?
Hello. Hello. They was living in your house.
Yeah, you wasn't getting any dick because he was giving the dick to her.
But then trying to say, oh, I don't think there's anyone else.
So it's like not admitting that he was cheating on you is a blow to your ego, but not admitting on national TV that you bought your own fucking engagement ring.
And also, what else did she say? Oh, she goes, I'm terrified of being single. You're 60. That's a fucking problem.
And she says that every time one of her relationships ends, she's afraid of being alone. But didn't you break up with Don?
Hello?
I was like, I could have sworn that you are the one that filed. Could have sworn that's what happened. I'm like, so why are you afraid of being alone? Because I'm pretty sure Don is somewhere in his Hawaiian shirt being extremely happy.
Away from you.
Away from you. So
and you're non-vaxxing.
So episode 2, there's a Jill in the air. I'm like, who the fuck named these things? While the ladies get pampered, a surprise guest arrives. Dorinda hosts a spirited dinner at Ventford Hall, home of the famous Morgan letters. Shout out to Sonia. Brandy's choice of words causes tension within the group.
I have so much to say about that.
So let's start with the surprise. When I tell you that when I saw it, I was like, how are they gonna bring Jill in? And when I saw them line up chairs, I'm like, that kind of looks like that's how they're doing it.
When I say, because that shit always makes it, I will randomly think about it during the middle of the day. Because it's just so like everything. She had no clue about anything that had happened the night before with Alex. And like, or not with Alex, with Kelly. But then Alex just goes after the surprise, and Ramona, are you fucking kidding me? Alex just goes, we've just already been through so much.
It's like, it's been a lot of trauma. It's like, girl, what? And I love till this day, because Jill and Dorinda and Brandy were in the Twitter spaces. Till this day, Jill is like, I don't understand why Ramona didn't think I was coming. She invited me. Bitch,
she did.
You told her you weren't coming.
Well, okay, hold on, because I kind of am I'm a little bit of a Jill Zarin apologist.
Okay.
You did invite me.
You did.
And I recently got Jill Zarin. That's just like a side story that I will give really quickly. But you did invite me. And I said, I'm not coming. However, if something changes and I can come, I'm like, well, the invite was extended to me, so
it should be fine.
I think she could. I think we should have called. Okay, I think we should have. And I did that. Thinking back on it, I think that's probably production saying like, "Oh, just go. We'll let them know. We'll let them know you're there. You're coming." I'm sure something along those lines happened. But when it happened to me the other week, so me and much like Jill and Bethany at the time, me and this girl we've had a long rocky friendship. Finally was like, no, I was finally like, we're done here. Like, no way. It was my best friend's birthday party, and they never had a relationship. They never had a good relationship. Me and my best friend were out earlier that day, and homegirl, who has a history of talking shit about my best friend, was like, oh, what are your birthday plans? And me and my best friend looked at each other. We said, I don't know why the fuck she's asking, because she knows I'm going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We are not good. Okay.
Ooh, we are not good.
And I was like, she's talked shit about you, which isn't a good reason. Me and her are not on good terms. Like, why is she asking this? So my friend was like, you know what? I'm not even going to answer her. I'm not even going to fucking answer her.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't answer her either. Because what am I going to tell you? Like, no, you're not coming. Like, you're putting yourself in a position for me to embarrass you. Mm-hmm. So then there was a like flyer for my friend's birthday. And of course we shared it, and homegirl showed up, and we were like, and she was like, well, you shared the flyer on Instagram. Okay, but you also texted somebody who didn't text you back and tell you themselves. So since you didn't get an answer, why would you show up? 1, 2, you're not friends with anybody here.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
She knew no one there except for me, who obviously we have it's a huge thing going on.
Oh my God.
And then my friend who you've talked shit about and everybody knows it. So why are you trying to come here? You know what I mean?
That seems so futile to me. I'm like, you don't even fucking like her. Like, what is going on here?
Hello,
right now?
We were like, when I tell you, plus I had some liquor. Okay, I was like, my friend was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine."
I said, "You sure you're okay?" I am fine. Stop asking me if I'm okay.
I said, "I'm gonna stay out here though because
if I don't." It's gonna be blood on the dance floor.
I'm not gonna ruin nobody's birthday, but I was like, okay, because I mean that's what she wanted from me. She wanted me to make a scene.
She wanted a scene. It's like, see, I still get under her skin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but my foot is gonna be in your ass if you don't get the fuck up out of my face.
Hello? But yeah, so I like that. That's the difference to me, and I think that's why I said I'm like, you were invited, but I just think a phone call, like I am gonna come now. But like I just feel like everybody, a lot of that had to do with
production.
Kelly, production, and Kelly got put on Jill for showing up, and it's like, no, she didn't even know that any of that was happening. I'm just a little bit of a Jill Zarin apologist because I do believe that Bethany uses people. I think she used Jill. And yeah,
I don't disagree. So
like
I'm like, the more and more I'm like, Jill did try to kind of like fix it, and you're like, no, fuck it, I don't need you.
Oh my God, she's like, Jill's so materialistic. Okay, what the fuck does that have to? How is that really? You got it. This was my thing when Bethany got engaged, and she was like, "Do you have a ring?" That is a very fucking common question to ask after somebody gets engaged.
Usually it's like a ring goes with it.
Do you know how many? Beyonce made a song about it. He put a ring on it. Like, what?
That's the symbol of you getting engaged. Not just, he asked me, and then what happened?
Like,
I said yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to break the ice. Like, oh, congratulations getting engaged. Let's see the ring. Like she would try and make these points, and you know what? It's Jill Zarin. She has a lot of money.
I feel like I've known that since I've seen her on my screen. Yeah, you actually vacation with this woman. Why are you surprised?
And it was fine when it was suiting Bethany, but then that's right when she was starting to get popular, and she thought that she didn't need Jill anymore. Honestly, she did not need Jill.
She was the lightning in the bottle for Roni. And not Jill. And I know that bothered Jill to a certain extent. I can understand because you are the reason why we got this little crew on Roni. So I'm like, no, I can understand it. It's like, y'all could have worked this out. She wasn't ready. And then when you were ready, Bethany wasn't ready. It's like, yeah, y'all need some space, some time, some air. Y'all need something. So I just... Yeah, Jill showing up with a surprise shirt as if any of those women were on Scary Island actually makes me crack up every time I think about it. Like,
I'm sorry, I love seeing Jill Zarin on my TV screen because the woman is so like, what are you
like, Jill, girl, what are you doing? But I will say, I'm not a Jill apologist, but I'm like, Jill looks amazing. She looks better now than she did before.
She does. She looks amazing. She needs to give Brandy her whatever they do to her face. She needs to give.
Yeah, give her your makeup artist and your clip-ins and your weave because Jill looked great. And I'm like, girl, you're like, I got rolling rest. I'm like, Jill walked in there like a walking Dwayne Reed, QVC, Walmart, Target, and CVS pharmacy. I'm like, girl, and Amazon Prime. I'm like, When she said Prime will deliver, I'm pretty sure every bitch in this room knows how the fuck Amazon Prime works.
I just love because it's just big mom energy and like
it is like please don't like energy. When she said I'm a Jew, I had not even noticed. No, yes, like, I know that you are very much giving Bubby energy. I love it.
Like I love it. And you know, there's a good restaurant in New York and da 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 and da 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 and da da. I love seeing Jill Zarin be Jill Zarin. I really do.
I was like, I think one, if this was back in the day, Jill Zarin, she would not take too kindly to Tamra and Vicky making fun of her. She'd have cussed them out, or at least been in her confessional being shady as fuck. I'm like, Jill really has grown, because she'd have cussed somebody out. But the way it's like, you're like, why? I'm like, what, guys? I just know a lot of stuff. I got a lot of money. I'm like, we hadn't noticed you.
Well, she's like, yeah, I talk a lot, but you wouldn't be a housewife.
And if you didn't talk about, I'm like, fair.
That's true. But fair. Like Tamra and Vicky, the way they run their mouths different than the way Jill runs her mouth.
Right. It's like, I look like Jill. I thought it was just funny. And I'm like, she seems so much more relaxed. And I don't know how to explain that. But it's like, it just seemed like, yeah, I know lighter. I talk. I'm like, okay. It's like, like lighter. Yeah. It's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. The spirited.
Yeah. Let me.
The dinner.
No. Yes. First of all, before that, I am happy that this dinner happened because I needed Eva to hop off Vicky's dick. She was getting on my fucking nerves, fangirling over Vicky. Because again, like I said, when she was like, I thought we were going to be whooping it up. Vicky really hadn't whooped it up in her last like 3 seasons. She was being a menace. Okay,
a Debbie Downer menace.
That clip of her from the reunion when they caught her in between the door and the frame, and she's like, ah! That everybody memed the fuck out of. That's the Vicky I remember.
It's like I'm like, Victoria's not the fun girl that you label. Tamra seems to be the fun girl.
Tamra is the fun girl. Tamra is the fun girl.
Yeah, and then, I'm like, looking at this group, I'm like, who would you fangirl over? Probably Dorinda.
Yeah, but then also, when Vicky, like, is there anywhere we can go whoop it up? If you tell me I'm going to Bluestone Manor, I already know that we're not going out like that.
And also, ma'am, you are melting just sitting outside. Why do you want to go anywhere?
Vaccinated. You're not vaccinated.
It's like, ma'am, we're not going to go play bubble soccer with your ass because we're going to wrap your ass in a bubble, ma'am.
Exactly. But yes, okay, so the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I find it funny how Brandy's like, I'm only going to drink during the night instead of the day, and that'll be better. No, baby.
No.
Baby. No.
Or maybe don't drink it all. Or maybe just tell her to drink and just give her some. Can y'all give her some Fose? Go get Luann's wine and go give it to her.
In the words of Miss Quad, no, baby. No. That's not any better.
That's not it. It's like, girl, it's like Brandy. And the thing about it is, I want to know why y'all trying to play. And I'm shout out to Tamra that Brandy is so young, because when Jill was in the space, she said she was the youngest person there. No, that role goes to Eva because she is the youngest person there.
Exactly.
I was like, why y'all trying to act like y'all trying to infantilize Brandy in a weird way? Because when Tamra's like, that bitch is almost 50, I'm like, so now we've said it.
Yeah.
Now we've said it.
She really is. And I will say, I do kind of like, even though Brandy's a menace, I do kind of like the dynamic between Brandy, Eva, and
Phaedra. I like that dynamic too. Like, why am I not surprised by that dynamic, by the way?
I kind of was, but then like when I started thinking about it, I'm like, no, I'm not. Because like even Phaedra, when Phaedra got in the bed with her, she said, okay, now I just think you need to go to bed. Okay. No, stop talking so much.
You need to stop talking so much. What the fuck is going on my screen? What is this?
You need to stop talking so much. Listen to people. And Phaedra does. She said, I like her. And she said, I think she, I do with Taylor, because Taylor's like, I wish you would stop apologizing to me. I'm not ever going to be mad that someone's trying to right their wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
I get
but
what
I'm gonna need her to
saying.
actually right said wrongs.
Because every time she starts, it's like,
it was
Brandy,
like,
starting.
Stop talking.
You're
it's
starting.
Like you are not
like,
helping
oh,
because we could have deaded this at I should have never brought that book up and I am sorry. That is a sentence. One sentence. That was it. You want to keep having this conversation. Like, bitch, I'm in California too. You could have found me on the Twitter, on Instagram. Hit me up DMs.
Years.
Like, okay. Girl, it's like, I'm not going to keep having this, like, because this is what's pissing me off. And I'm like, oh, God.
That I don't understand why she kept talking about that book. I really don't. But
I don't. I'm like,
Brandy's such an awkward person. Like, she is so awkward. Honestly. And I think she's socially awkward too. And I don't, that's one thing I feel like people, because she kind of comes off as a bitch. Mm-hmm. Well, she is a bitch. But like, I think that that bitchiness is the social awkwardness manifest. Mm-hmm.
I do too.
That's what I think it is.
Because that's what it seems like. I'm like, you're talking so much because you're so nervous and you're anxious in this. Like, because like you're being awkward. That's why you keep saying just like the weirdest shit. I'm like, stop talking, girl. Can you not sit there and eat the food? Dorinda, maybe you should have fed her lobster so she could shut the fuck up.
And not talk about somebody's eyebrows being lesbian eyebrows.
I was like, what the? Like, why would you ask that? I mean, like, why did you be lesbian? Her eyebrows, please. I'm sorry. I'd have been like Phaedra. I'd have been on the floor. I'm like, girl, shut the hell up.
When that lady, when the producer said, are you okay?
She's like, heaven help you. I said, girl,
help you all.
Is that a vision you're having?
She literally said, heaven help you all. It was like, I died with the shot of Brandy walking away. I died. Mama said, I can't. And she's seen some things, okay?
She's worked the coffee. She reads the coffee. I'm like,
she's seen some things. And she said, heaven help you all. But let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. If you tell me, Giselle, you have to stop telling people to shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And then you turn around and tell me, Giselle, shut the fuck up. Do you really think I'm going to take kindly to that after you told me I can't tell somebody to shut the fuck up, but you can tell me to shut the fuck up? Okay, so I thought I was the only person because when Tamara was like, you really need to shut the fuck up. Yeah, hello? You shut the fuck up. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, time out. Y'all didn't hear what Tamara just said to her? Because they'd be like, wait, you're telling me to shut the fuck up, but you don't want me to tell you and your grandma over there to shut the fuck up. Listen here, Nana Vicky, shut the fuck up. Hello? How about that? Exactly. I was like, Tamara just told me to shut the fuck up. How come you, and Eva is right. Y'all cannot do the very thing that you're telling her to do. It's like, you're telling her she can't tell people to shut the fuck up, so you can't tell her to shut the fuck up. Now, I think everybody needs to shut the fuck up. I really do. But that's not going to happen here, obviously. Clearly. So, with that being said, and honestly, I think that Tamara could have just said, Brandy, you need to watch what comes out of your mouth. You can choose your words more carefully, weigh your words, something else than telling her to shut the fuck up. And she's like, you shut the fuck up. See, that's what I'm talking about. But no, that isn't what you're talking about. The way Vicky and Taylor jumped on Brandy, I said, oh, bitch. Because when Taylor brought that arm up and put it, and she pointed that finger, said, I've had enough of you, bitch. I said, I'm sorry. I was like, so Brandy's like, I know she's yelling at me. I should be upset, but all I'm thinking about is that cat meme. And I'm like, okay, so now that's immediately what I thought about. It's like, oh, Taylor can never yell at anybody again because that's all any of us are going to think about. I'm sorry. What she should have did when she was yelling, should have been like, meow, meow. She's like, I mean, like, but like, and then I'm glad Taylor said it. Taylor has some sense. She said, look, when I don't know how else to meet you when you say bitch and shut the fuck up. And like, what other than to also start saying bitch and shut the fuck up. So because I get that. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that drives me crazy in the Housewives like universe is when they're like Cynthia did this with Portia, I think back in the day. They have been bitch all day. Oh, bitch, you look cute. Oh, bitch, you do this. But you have a problem with bitch. It's like, did you just call me a bitch? But you have a problem with Portia right now. Yeah, you have a problem with Portia right now. So when Portia says, because I'll never forget that, she didn't say, bitch, fuck you. She said, okay, well then, bitch, you still mad, I guess. And we've been bitching all day. Correct. And now, Cynthia, you want to kick me in the crotch? Like, what? I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. Either we're gonna all be on the same page, or we're gonna say, okay.
Because in that moment when that happened, I was just like, so Portia, you are so used to someone just going, go ahead and hit me, or girl, you touch me, I'm gonna get you fine. And you cashed a check your ass couldn't cash. Cynthia don't look like she backed down from nothing. And you never tried that with her again. It's like, nope, let me not get in my face. Like, girl, you better get the fuck out of my face. I'm like, Cynthia look like she beat ass if she need to. And it's like, you ain't try that again.
But yeah, that's what always drives me crazy with that shit. Because
like, wait a minute, how you would tell me not to say shut the fuck up and you just told me to shut the fuck up? Bitch,
exactly. Tamara and Vicky do that all the time. But then that little scene that they showed from the dinner, they didn't show it during the dinner, but afterwards, where they were like yelling at, I shared it on my stories. They were like yelling at Brandy, and Vicky's like, you need to get out of here. You need to go. And Tamara's like, yeah, no one wants you. I was like,
that was like that is vintage OC Vicky Tamara or Vamra.
It was just so gross to me. It's like, and like, I do think that Brandy has a point. She says, I haven't been on Housewives in years. I haven't been a cast member in years. They're still very much so in it. They are still, it's too new still. And it's true because Vicky and Tamara will be the first ones to tell you, be like, we didn't want to leave.
Correct.
And we want to be back. We want to be back. They will be the first one to tell you they want to be back on that show so bad. And I do agree with Brandy. I think they're using that as their like audition to try and come back.
You need us back on Orange County. See this? You need Vamra back. See how Vamra works? We stir the pot. It's what you need. It's like, no, we don't. Because I'd have cussed Victoria out very quick. I'm like, first of all, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, but your employees are back in Orange County. Talk to them that way. Talk to Tamara that way. Make that bitch cry. But what you won't do, because when I watched Brandy shut down very quickly. Okay. I'm like, oh, she's shutting down, and that's just very odd to watch. You got both the Richard sisters coming at you. You did not back down from them. Now you're backing down, and it's very interesting to watch.
But also, I was happy Eva finally said something because I had to rewind that part when when Vicky was like, you get out of here if you're not gonna, you weren't even around. I said, oh no, she's not talking to Eva like that. And you know, talk about when she said, yeah, I'm not the one. I said, not one nan word came out of Victoria's mouth to Eva after that. Not one nan word.
Not one word.
I am not the one.
This ain't what you want. I said, thank you.
It's not. Because stop talking to me like that. Tamara or Vicky keeps talking to people like, I know you're a grandma, but I'm not your grandchild.
I'm not your bitch. I'm not your employee. Stop talking to me like you're crazy.
Exactly. She acts like, and that was honestly, that was part of Vicky's downfall on the OC. You're not a producer. You're just a longtime castmate. So you don't actually have any pull here. You don't have, and especially here, you're not in OC. I think Vicky and Tamara went on to this, the girls.
We are going to take over this trip. And like it's like you're not going to.
We did in the OC.
So this is the thing, Dorinda, this is your trip. And everybody on your trip, nobody should think singled out. You should have like put the kibosh on this very quickly. Okay, guys, we get it. We all want to have fun. Can we just table this and enjoy the dinner? Dorinda, this is your trip. This is not Tamara and Vicky's trip. Why are you not shutting this down? Because I don't think I could host a group of women that I all asked y'all to come to and watch one person get ganged up on by 3 people. I don't like that at all. Dorinda, this is your trip.
I do think Dorinda, like she brought it back around when she was like, okay, like at the end of the dinner, she was like, okay, Brandy, you do need to calm down. You really do. However, Vicky, you obviously don't like Brandy. I don't have a problem with her.
That's obvious.
No, Vicky, you didn't have a problem with her coming in here, but now you do. Whether you want to say it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, you do have a problem with her now. And you just don't, anything that Brandy says, Vicky is ready to snap over it. And that's true.
Correct.
That's true. And so Dorinda tried, but then Tamara wants to accuse her of being fake and flip-floppy. That's not being flip-floppy. At the end of the day, yes, we're here to make good TV. However, I can't keep having this shit.
Correct. It's like, I just want to enjoy the food and not y'all yelling. And it's like, girls, shit. Like,
I'm not gonna
Brandy,
listen
weigh your words,
like
baby. You gonna have to weigh your words and stop waiting for these two black women to like prop you up and tell you what to do before you realize it. It's like, Brandy, I can't keep telling you the same thing. It's like,
right.
Brandy, do not engage with Victoria, because guess what? You don't, like, you have me and Phaedra. However, we ain't the yellers from our seat.
They're really not.
We are not. Also, they are the yellers.
Exactly. But listen, Miss Faye will read you down.
She will.
She will read you down.
She'll read you like a scripture. Shout out to Mary.
She really will. So,
it's
but
like,
I just like, I think that I'm not surprised that Phaedra and Eva get along, but or get along with Brandy rather. But I don't see them being in the position to read anybody on this cast down.
No.
I think as much as we're gonna get from them is exactly Eva telling Vicky, I'm not the one.
That's it. And I think it kind of, you saw Eva hop off the Victoria train and then seemingly also hop off the Brandy train when she brought up her husband.
Yeah.
It's like, Brandy, you don't have to say everything that you think of. No one's saying that to her. It's like, you don't have to say everything that you think of. You can leave it in your brain, put it in the vault, put it somewhere else.
Cannot help herself. She cannot help herself.
It's like, baby, you don't have to say everything you're thinking. Because it's like, I don't know I'm not a wife. I don't know anyone like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm about to be a wife, and I was like, now what the fuck?
Yeah, what does that mean?
And that's how Brandy always gets me, because I'll be like, okay, Brandy, you right, you right, you right. Okay. And then she will say something so out of left fucking field.
Like, what?
Bitch. What?
I can be like Aisha face. What?
Literally. I'm like,
now where did that come from?
Always. I'm like, now hold on, bitch.
It's like, now hold on, glasses.
Now hold on, glasses.
It's like, what are you talking about? Brandy can't help herself, and no one's saying, baby, don't say everything you're thinking of. Stop thinking that you gotta like put words in every part of the atmosphere to make it better. You could just sit there and shut the fuck up.
The liquor,
baby. All that liquid courage is like, it's giving you liquid awkwardness. It's not giving you courage. It's like, baby, shut up.
The way she started looking a mess. Okay, this is another thing for me. You really see with this cast, especially, I feel like you see the difference between the glam and how everybody looks on there, because Eva and Phaedra have two different styles, but they're still dressed. They are still, they're giving us looks. Whether Phaedra's more so trying, but like even Eva giving us looks. Brandy, which has always bothered me, maybe because I used to do hair, I don't know. Miss Mama, what's going on with the hair? Like in the makeup, like respectfully, you look a mess.
It's like, y'all, it's like, oh, Dorinda only has glam. Then maybe y'all should go knock on the door for the glam. Because when I saw Taylor doing her hair and I saw her clip-ins, I said, what in the Gina and the Casita hell am I looking at?
God. I forgot I saw that weave for a second. And I was like, because I actually did. I rewound it and I paused it because I said, I know she ain't got no wefts up in there. I said, she got wefts. I couldn't tell if it was clip-ins or if it was, I feel like she does those linked wefts. They're like what a lot of white women are starting to do now. And it drives me crazy because not every white woman should do that.
Correct. It's like it doesn't fit everybody. Because when I saw that,
your hair can't support it, which I don't think Taylor's and or Brandy's can. It's gonna look a mess like it does. And I'm like, Brandy and Taylor, did you I see you curling the hair, but did we not put any hairspray, no spritz in it? What happened?
I was very confused. I'm like, why would you part it that way? And now we can see it. It's like, girl, what is going on in that room? And I'm like, yeah. Tamara very boldly tells everybody, yeah, I have clip-ins and I do all this. I do the links and everything. Her hair don't be looking a mess, child.
It doesn't. Tamara's hair actually looks really good. I'll give it to her.
It's like, but she does the things.
And then Vicky, Vicky is just melting. She's just melting.
Her hair looks like it's melted too. I'm like, are your follicles hot? Are
even
they having a personal summer?
Even at that dinner, I'm like, girl, you
like what?
Did you put some makeup on your face? But I'm not gonna lie. Ever since Vicky got that facelift and literally, like, she has not looked the same to me. Like, so something has always.
She's had like what 2-3 nose jobs and a facelift. I'm like, girl, you have the money, do what you want. But it's very much like, I thought you looked better before. But again, I don't have to look at you're looking at your face every day. You see something you want to improve, and that's totally fine.
Period.
It's just kind of like, Victoria, you're not helping yourself. It's very death becomes her, and I don't even know. Y'all, I love that campy ass movie. I fucking love it. If you don't watch Death Becomes Her, y'all need to watch it. It was like, I can see right through you.
Oh my God. What was it? Did her like ear or nose or something fall out like right off?
Like, Goldie Hawn had a hole in her stomach. She hit it like Meryl Streep hit on the head. Then she got something with her neck. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh my God.
Lord, they melting. Can you see it?
Dead on. Honestly, truly. But like, even because I said this the other day, I can't, especially after Beverly Hills, I can't have the glam discussion in Housewives world anymore.
No more.
Honestly, like, if you realize Potomac, Atlanta, we don't do that. Like, they don't have the glam. Either bring the glam or don't. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But they don't
make it a big deal either. It's like, of course, we're on fucking TV.
New York and in Beverly Hills, they make it such a big deal. And I'm like, I can't listen to this fucking conversation anymore, because who cares?
Like, why are we doing this? I'm like, y'all are on television, so I expect to see at least a little concealer and bronzer on your face. So why are y'all making it seem like a big deal?
The cameras are just getting it more HD.
Hello? Right. So, it's like, I don't need to see every pore on your face, but if you do, you better put some damn makeup on it.
I always say this. I know how I feel when I see pictures of myself, like from the background and everything. I don't even know. Lord only knows what I would get done if I had to watch myself interact on TV.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the internet isn't necessarily kind. So who knows what I would be inclined to do. However, I would hope that somebody stopped me before I became too Death Becomes Her.
I'm just saying. I'm like, I will hope somebody now, girl, come back, come sit over here. I hope that Phaedra would get in the bed with me. Now, honey, let me tell you what you need to do. I hope somebody would do that for us, because I'm like, look, we don't want to be Victoria, because my God. Or to a certain extent, Kyle Richards. But see, that's the thing. Hers actually does seem to be improving her.
I will say this. Kyle looks good, but I didn't notice how good Kyle looked until they be doing them flashbacks of Kyle. And I'm like,
right?
When they do flashbacks of Kyle, I'm like, and back then I'm like, I mean, back then I was like, oh yeah, she's a pretty woman. I didn't see, but now
you
old
see
face
it.
to new face, I'm like, damn.
Her and Dorit. I'm like,
But Kyle doesn't. This is my thing that bothers me about Kyle talking about Dorit. Mama, you told us you got a nose job, but you've had more than that, Kyle.
Let's be honest here. It's not just they did this something your nose. Yes, the nose. Let's stick with that.
Now, what I will give the Richards sisters is I do think that they go to the same person, and whoever's doing that is consistent, because they look alike. They can have continued to look alike. You know what I mean?
Because they look really, really good. Yeah, whoever they have, like, yeah.
I think they continue to look alike. So I'm like, okay, y'all clearly going to the same surgeon, because even with your different faces, and you know who's a big difference is Kathy.
Yes.
Kathy looks completely different.
She does.
But the same, but different. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. Like, I can tell that's Kathy Hilton. But it's not. But
it's not Kathy Hilton. Because I was like, wait, is that how she looks? And then they showed a picture. I'm like, okay, she looks a little bit. I mean, if I squint.
Even But Kathy is on her third face because the one back in the day, like, when she first married Rick, and then the up until like when Paris started getting popular, that was a different face. And then
that was.
Yeah.
It's like
she's on her third. Kyle's on her third too, though, honestly.
Yeah. And it's like it's always a better improvement. Kim's as well. Cause it's like Kim's is like, I feel like out of the three, Kim's is the most subtle. Cause I'm like,
it is, yeah.
Oh, see, okay.
But let me tell you something about Kyle, which is what kills me.
Uh-oh.
Listen, I'm surprised Kyle hasn't gotten anything done to her hands. If there is even anything we
can creepy hands.
Because that virtual reunion season when they were getting together and
yes!
she them up and everybody read her to filth and she tried to tell us that's not what my hands look like. That was a lighting or somebody,
No, that's what your hands look like.
No, because now ever since then I pay attention to Kyle's hands. And I'm like, God damn, girl.
You got old lady creepy the witch's hands. I'm like,
you know what's funny is I used to work at this restaurant. And I'll play this game. I don't ask people how old do you think I am. I don't want I don't want you to tell me no. But this white girl, she was short, and the only reason she looked young is because she was so short. If that makes sense. Okay. But when you actually really started looking at her, it was like, oh no, girl, you a little bit older. So she was talking to a table, and I remember when I found out she was 35, I was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah. Really? I was like, oh shit, okay. She goes up to this table of guys. She goes, how old do you think I am? I said, oh Lord. Oh. And this man tells her,
you really don't want me to, you really
this
don't
white
want me
guy goes, he looks at her and he goes, 38, 39. Oh boy. And she started crying.
Oh no.
And somebody goes, how, they're like, she's 35. They were like, but everyone thinks she's like 22, 23, blah, blah. How did you know that? And this white man, he literally goes, oh, with white girls, you just look at their elbows and their hands. I was like, when I tell you,
oh my God.
I was paralyzed. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
and whenever I see Kyle's hands from now on, I always think about that because he was like, oh, he was like, white girls, you got to look at their hands and their elbows. I was like,
yeah, I'm sorry. I'd be like, come get me off this floor, please. Get me off the floor.
I just walked away. I was like, because I wasn't really involved in the conversation in the first place, but I was like,
like sitting here gooped, girl. What?
And her day was ruined the rest of the day. I said, well, Mama, I don't know why you asked that question.
I don't even know what to say right now.
I always think about that when I see Kyle. When I see her,
like, how do you look? Let me see your elbows.
When I see her hands, I always, because she has, her faces look great, but them hands are telling the truth.
Elbows and hands is the show title. Okay. It's like, oh,
well,
I'm not in. Now I'm like, elbows.
I don't know, but I feel like
yes, elbows. I'm like.
But I feel like we grew up, Black people grew up like, you put some lotion on your body before you go to bed, okay?
Right. It's like you keep yourself moisturized. You
put some Vaseline yourself up. Yeah, before you go to bed.
Right.
I feel like that's not the case with some other
people. The case.
Reparations.
Okay. now I'm thinking about, okay, so y'all, third episode, Dazed and Excused.
Oh, God.
What? After shopping in town and visiting a marijuana dispensary, Dorinda referees field day games. Vicky's medical woes continue. Dorinda and Brandy go head to head in the lasagna bake-off. So Vicky had to go to the urgent care.
Of course she did, because she still has COVID.
Ma'am, you're still getting over COVID. You must not be contagious, which is why they let you still come.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's why they let you come, because you're no longer contagious. It's like, okay, girl, you're going there. I'm gonna stay home, because she did not participate in the field games. That, let's be very clear, I thought it looked very fun.
Oh, they looked really fun. But listen, this is my thing. Vicky doesn't want to participate in anything. At this point, I'm wondering why you came. You need a sound bath, Miss Mama. And then you want to sit there because that pissed me off. She was like, I'm not doing this. Why did I come here? Why did you come here? That's a good question. And now you're not going to play the field games because you sick. Why did you come here?
So can I just say I've done a sound bath and it's one of the most relaxing things
It
I have
is.
I was like, are you
I've
kidding
done a
me? A
few.
sound bath? I'm like, oh, that is
I've done
fun.
a few.
Like,
yeah, I've done a few. I don't know what her problem is.
I was
I could be
like-
doing payroll. I could be doing. I'm like, that's literally the point of
you're
it.
on fucking
Just shut your-
vacation, bitch. Don't
shut
you have somebody
your
to delegate
brain
to this? You better go find Lori. Oh, that's right. You fired Lori. Never mind. So you can't go find Lori to go do payroll. You don't have a payroll administrator.
Mhm.
You
She
do
does.
payroll, girl. Shut
She
the
does.
hell up.
She went to go look for Steve on the
She looking at the ring. Look at your ring video. But it's like, I don't know why y'all not doing it. Sound baths are so good. And I'm
And
like,
so
I
are
don't
field
understand.
games. And
It's
especially
like,
in that
so
field,
much fun.
in that field in Bluestone Manor. Are you kidding me?
That
We
looks
have plenty of room.
so fun. And the fact that Eva won and she was like, I'm just trying to beat Tamara because she is the most athletic. Yeah, but she don't seem like the brightest because part of that was like you had to find something. I'm like, that's
right. There's a difference. And I know because I watched the challenge for a long time.
Hello?
There's a difference from being athletic and then being like tactical
and good.
Yeah.
Because when they did the badminton, I was like, oh, that looks so much fun. So I actually played badminton in high school. I played on our team. So I'm like, now I want you to set up a badminton court, Dorinda, so we can go out there and play badminton.
Your school had a badminton team?
I had a badminton team.
We did not have nothing like that.
Really? Well, it's like after I left, all of a sudden lacrosse became a big thing in Maryland because everybody and their mama had a lacrosse team.
So we got a lacrosse team like halfway through my high school. Like we voted on what it was. They left it up to the vote for the students, which now with my grown people brain thinking about that, I'm like, they already knew what it was.
Correct.
Their school, the money, the parents had already knew what it was. But people voted for lacrosse. It was like between girls football, lacrosse, and something else. I can't remember. I voted for girls football because I had too many bitches I wanted to slam into a fucking
I'm just
wall.
saying, like, those female football players be busting ass. If they're anything like the WNBA, it's like, oh, bitch, this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we had lacrosse like halfway through my high school. Like I was a senior or a sophomore or junior or something like that. But badminton. But I do love a good badminton game.
Oh, like it's so much fun. It is kind of relaxing. It was like this seems like honestly seems like a lot of fun. And the people that was at the bottom, if you would have told me Tamara, I've been like, yeah, probably. Depending on who it was. I honestly would have thought it'd been between Tamara and Phaedra, because Phaedra be like, girl, I ain't doing all this, child. I ain't doing all this, child. All I weigh is a whole bunch of child, and I ain't doing this. So I was very surprised.
Boys. She has little boys too. So that's why I was like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I forgot about those two. So it's like, no, that kind of makes sense. Like, I gotta be a little competitive now. Everybody knows when you're a boy mom, you gotta be competitive. That's how I feel about her. So the lasagna.
Hold on. When Dorinda said, of course I took some of the ingredients that we got. I took tomatoes for lasagna. I said, now Dorinda. You sabotaged that lady.
You
okay.
Did. You had a lasagna. She had pizza soup. I don't know what the fuck was in. I was like, what? Listen, what is that on the top of the what?
Let me tell you something. Lasagna, I don't cook a lot, but I've cooked some things. I have never been able to get lasagna down.
Really?
No, I don't know why. Like I've always fucked up every lasagna I've tried to make.
Really? And that's the it was so funny. I randomly, that's so wild. I was talking to my mother about cooking because it's been a while since I've really cooked in my own house. Because of everything going on with my dad, it was like I haven't really cooked in my own house. I'm like, I've been eating like, Uber Eats and quick heat ups, but not cooking. And I was like, I kind of want to make lasagna. Mom was like, you know how to make lasagna? I'm like, I do. I make a pretty good one. And it's like I just haven't done it in so long. But lasagna is one of those things. Either it's going to be lasagna or spaghetti soup.
Right. Exactly.
Because I was like, seriously, what the fuck is that, Brandy? Now I'm worried about, I'm going to call the CPS. Your children are grown. But I'm going to call the CPS. What the fuck she be? Girl, I'd rather you feed these kids chicken nuggets than whatever the fuck was in that bowl.
I can, like, I don't, Brandy as a mom is so funny to me because she is, even when like her interactions with her kids when before on the first episode before they left, her son was like, Mom, please.
It's like, lady, please. This is a Wendy's. Please stop talking.
I just know she'd be embarrassing them.
You know she is. It's like, girl. I was like, they'd just be like, what did mom do today? What did she not do today? Oh, okay. I guess let me is this a deactivate Instagram day?
Yep.
No, it's probably just take the app off your phone day. Oh, okay. All right. Like it. Because I was like, whose idea was it to have a lasagna bake-off? And why did you choose Brandy and not, I don't know, Phaedra or Eva?
Yeah, but I feel they did that on the first one too. Well, not a bake-off. Teresa cooked for everybody. That's what it was. Her sauce.
Because I'm like, everybody, even kind of like Jill, get Bubby up in the kitchen. I'm kidding. Jill don't look like she be in there busting no pots. She's like, go in there and bust the pots.
Yeah, I don't know if Jill Zarin can cook.
I don't know either. I'm just banking on, Bubby probably knows how to cook. Wait, never mind. It's Jill Zarin.
Yeah, no.
Jill, like, I know who to call to get to cook. I'm like, you know what, you're right. But if y'all have a private chef, why are y'all having and why lasagna?
That was my thing. I said, where did the lasagna come from?
Did y'all have a discussion about lasagna? I'm like, were y'all in the group chat talking? What's a dish that y'all have? Ooh, lasagna.
Yeah, that was my thing.
One. I was like, how did we get here? Explain how did we get here?
You know what? Honestly, Brandy could have made the best lasagna ever. And then women would not have given her flowers for her lasagna.
Very much so.
Want to do. But then I was like, damn. Then it had to turn out like soup.
It is like, because I've we both had meals where like it looks terrible. This shit is good as shit. It looked like it was terrible and it wasn't that good, but it cracked me up when Jill said, so I didn't vote for neither because both of these weren't good.
I was ready. You know what, Jill?
Jilliana, leave me alone, ma'am.
I said, Jill said, let me pull out the Uber Eats.
Hello? She's like, let me just, like, what you doing? I'm door dashing some food because bitch, what the fuck is that? Excuse me, lady, the chef, can you make me something to eat? But you don't want to eat the lasagna?
Hello?
No.
Because one thing you will not do is mess up my meal.
It was like, is there anything else? Are there leftovers? Any sandwiches? Nothing?
One thing you will not do is mess up my meal for the dinner at that. My whole day is centered around dinner.
Right. It's like, especially if you're like someone who likes lasagna, because everybody doesn't like lasagna. So it's like, okay, but if you're like, I'm like, we're going to get some food and yeah. So
again, if you mess up my meal, I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah,
like if you get in the way of me or you just give me some bad food, I'm gonna have a grudge for a while.
Because it was very interesting, because I'm like, so basically what y'all are saying, there's no seasoning up there, because that's what y'all kind of were like giving me, like Dorinda's looks pretty but no flavor, and Brandy's looks not pretty and still has no flavor. I'm like, girl, I wish I would eat a bland lasagna.
A bland anything, okay? Because
that part, girl, it's like, what are we doing?
There's too many seasonings. I just had this conversation with somebody. I said, you know what? They were like, They were like, you I don't like, my friend was like, I don't like too much salt. And I was like, what do you like? And he literally goes, I rather pepper than salt. I said, so you just be putting pepper up in your food? He was like, for the most part, yeah. I said,
when there are several versions of pepper and salt. Pink Himalayan, kosher.
That part.
It's like, what kind of? I'm like, there is onion salt, garlic salt.
This is what I said, because I had to have salts back. I said, there are multiple versions of both. However, all the versions of salt can stand alone. Pepper is a fucking support seasoning. Yes. It doesn't go by itself.
It kind of doesn't. It's like, even if you like, and there's 7 versions. There's red pepper, there's cayenne pepper, there is white pepper, there is black pepper. However, it goes with something else.
Exactly. Almost all of them have to go
with
paired
something
with another
else.
seasoning. And that's my point. If you just season something with some Lowry seasoning salt, I'm gonna be like, okay, but it's still gonna bust, okay?
Correct, because it's Lowry. So it's
Lowry
it's like
will save almost any dish.
It's not just salt. It's I'm like, I don't know when people say seasoning salt. I'm like, isn't that just salt? I'm like, no.
Literally one of my earliest memories, my mom told me a house is not a home unless there's Lowry seasoning salt in it.
Correct.
I
have some in my cabinet. It's like,
I literally have 3. I never have just one Lowry seasoning salt, honestly. Like if I ever
like that's how I feel about Old Bay. I'm like, I always I'm like, I got all this Old Bay. I'm like, I literally bought a big old can of Old Bay on sale. Like, but you don't need it. Yeah, but it's on sale and you just never know. Because what if I'm like, it's like, come on.
The 3 things I keep are Lowry seasoning salt, Old Bay, because my mom lives on the East Coast, and Tony's Creole seasoning.
I got a can of that. I'm like, I found it because one is like, even though I'm in Maryland, they're like, it's not a southern state. I'm like, technically it is. It's a border state. It's not a Confederate state, which is a totally Southern and Confederate is not the same thing, but I hear y'all when y'all say it. So it's like some things they're like, oh, you have that. So one of the things that we didn't have is Tony's. And I was in the store once and I saw it. I'm like, oh, bitch, I'm getting this because it was on super duper sale. Like, because y'all usually don't have this. And I can tell. I'm like, let me grab this because it was on sale.
Well, I live in Missouri, so we have it because there's like a lot of, well, I live in St. Louis. There's a lot of like New Orleans, like Creole influence.
Right. Yeah.
So we have it here. And then we also have this thing here called Red Hot Riblets. They're chips. And they are so good. Oh my God. Like, I just love a good bag of Red Hot Riblets. But they have Red Hot Riblet seasoning. And
they have a seasoning?
Those are the things that I keep in my cabinets at all times. Have to.
Oh my gosh. I have to get a new bottle of hot sauce.
All of them could have been used in that lasagna.
It's like, I'm thinking of so many things that should have been there. Girl, I didn't see no bay leaves. I didn't see no oregano.
I saw no oregano, which was concerning.
Because it was like, I feel like if you're going to have like a pasta dish, like oregano got to be there somewhere. I don't cook a lot of pasta, but it's like, wait. I'm like, Dorinda, we didn't see you really make yours. So now I know what the fuck is in your sauce. Because when Teresa cooked, I was like, well, we've seen scenes of her cooking. So it's like, no, this woman has like 2 or 3 cookbooks. No, it totally makes sense. It's like, no, that kind of makes sense. Brandy making lasagna don't make no sense. And Dorinda, I don't give a fuck what you say. It feels like the math is not mathing for me.
Do you remember, did you see that whole thing with like Paula Patton cooking fried chicken on the internet?
That her mama taught her. I'm like, your white mama?
Those are the vibes I get from Brandy cooking.
Yes. It was like, man, I'm gonna defend this girl. Here's the thing about another thing I would take to the grave. If I don't know how to fry and season chicken properly, I don't know how to season my flour. That's something I would take to the grave. It's like, Julian is fine. He is still living. Okay. But we like, it's my white mama taught me this. It's like, baby,
I just would have never shared that.
Never. It's like, oh, I would have never said nothing.
What's that thing Garcelle said? That's a story you never repeat again.
Hello.
I would have.
It's like hell. I'm like, I want to watch Garcelle cook because I know that bitch can cook. But
when that Haitian night, that food looks so good.
I said, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Excuse me, Garcelle. You ain't got none of these bitches. We're coming because are you fucking kidding me?
So damn good. I was like, and fucking Rena talking about, I'm not a really fishy
girl. Person. You're a fucking fish lie because I've seen you eat fish. I'm like, I'm glad y'all rolled back the bean footage on Rena because Rena full of shit.
Period.
See, I ate fish. Girl, shut up.
Yeah, I ate it. I did it for you.
I'm sitting here like, I would not be like kowtowing to these heifers who literally travel internationally and eat the cuisine there. But you're like, oh my God, this is such a big deal. It's like, y'all barely did that when Crystal did Chinese New Year, which, by the way, fun. And then when they did the shit to Tiffany Moon in Dallas, I'm like, can I come to Chinese dim sum? Fuck these bitches.
Right.
It's y'all don't like, ugh, y'all just not fun. Get the fuck out of my face. It's like, but that's the first 3 episodes. I have heard so it's interesting when I watch people like, I don't know, I don't like this, and I don't know why I did this. And I'm like, the problem is that it wasn't a lot of the ex-wives that a lot of people like.
Yeah. I feel like it was actually kind of the controversial ex-wives. I'm going to be honest, though. I miss seeing Dorinda on TV.
Same,
and I know they were making fun of her. They're like, oh, you're on pause. We've all been fired. We're fired, blah, blah. I do think Dorinda's on pause.
But that's the thing. Andy said on pause. I'm like, she's not making this up. He did say that.
He did say that.
So it's like, y'all acted like Dorinda was like making something up. She wasn't. Because that was the first time that I heard her say it. I heard Andy say it first. Like, so why? Like, one, here's the thing. She has an open door to come back. To a certain extent, Tamara does too. Phaedra, if Candy leaves, Eva, no. Because your husband literally sniffs your direction and you get pregnant. So no, we're not bringing you back. Taylor's not coming back. No, Brandy probably not coming back. It's
they won't allow Brandy to come back.
So it's like, it seems like it's 2 people. Tamara, Dorinda. Jill, girl, we don't care.
Yeah,
I'm like Tamara, Dorinda, and Phaedra out of 8 people. And it's like,
I'm already tired of it because people are like, don't forget about what Phaedra did. Don't forget about what Phaedra did. And I find it funny because now we're in a space where the discussion is starting about how Candy is and I felt like this forever. Candy, you're sex positive, and I love that for you. That doesn't mean that's how everybody has to be.
Yeah, because I don't understand.
I'm not worrying
I love it. I'm like, girl, I'm not doing this.
I do too, but I'm not wearing vibrating panties and not knowing if somebody else's husband has the
especially remote. When they just didn't know. I'm like, now, Candy, if you knew that about the underwear, why didn't you just get them different brands? If they have different brands and different manufacturers, then the different remotes are not it's not going to matter. But it's kind of like, what does that have to do if you're going to the theater? They're like, oh, especially the play. I don't care if they were going to see fucking Cats. It's like, why you want to see me hot and bothered in the theater?
For real. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that Phaedra was fed that from somebody in production. And since the relationship between her and Candy was so strained in the first place on Candy's end, because this is a hill I will die on. Candy's a bad friend. Candy's a bad motherfucking friend. First of all, how am I getting divorced from my man and the police are knocking on my door looking for his belongings and his assets and he's hid them in your house and you don't tell me?
So I thought that was weird until Candy's like, I didn't know. Todd said yes, because apparently Apollo had stuff at Cynthia's house too. And I'm like, they knocked on our door too. Wait, time out. What?
But this is my thing. I don't believe that Candy didn't know. I don't believe that Candy didn't know the whole time. I don't think she knew at first. But you go in the garage and see a Hot Wheels bike or whatever the fuck it was that he
You didn't ask like, where the fuck did this come from?
And Candy, the way you are with money, you knew Todd didn't go buy a Hot Wheels bike. So
it's like, what is going on?
I just think all of that is low down. Stop. First of all, Apollo, stop going to my friend's house and trying to put,
especially when you know these are like essentially you met these men through your wife because these are her friends. Why are you going to them? Do you got no other friends?
And you're an idiot because we're on TV with these people.
Girl, we're on TV. Why would you?
Why would you hide? That's like hiding something in plain sight.
It was like, girl, what in the Coraline hell are you doing? Yeah. Peter was just like, no, they said they watch What Happens Live. Yeah, because why wouldn't the feds be watching y'all asses? They know you're on a fucking show.
You're the easiest people to watch.
It's like, that is the easiest thing. Because the thing about it, when it came to the whole Phaedra of it all, when it came to that rumor, it's like, here's the issue. You said that to Portia of all people. And the bad part about it is you would have let that girl sit there and take that shit. You weren't going to say anything until she blew up your spot. Because when she was like, oh, I heard it from somebody else, she was like, hold up, that's not what you told me. And you didn't negate her at all. I'm like, it's a whole bunch of wrong sitting on that couch. I'm like, Candy, you were a bad friend to her. Phaedra, I don't care if you heard it from allegedly Carlos King or anybody else. The fact that you repeated it to Portia, it gave her the notion, oh, you're probably telling the truth because she knew you were so close to Candy. Why would you lie about Candy to me and that's your friend?
Exactly. And I think that, like you said, there's a whole lot of wrong, but I personally think how people act like Phaedra, I don't like the narrative that people push about Phaedra all the way when it comes to that, because it's a whole lot of wrong. And I do think that that's one of the first times in housewife history that we start kind of seeing behind the fourth wall and understanding that there was a fourth wall, because we still don't have all of that story. And I don't think we ever will.
We're not going to, because Carlos not going to say a damn thing.
No,
he's not going to say it. He's already denied it. And I think what would have softened me, because I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of indifferent on Phaedra coming back. But I think what would pushed me to, bring her back, is when they were like hyping up this season of Girls Trip. And when Andy flat out asked her, do you have any regrets? She said nothing. You don't regret anything you did on the show. And I'm like, because you don't think you did anything.
But
you
also,
don't. And it was like, wait,
but
girl.
Also, I feel like, because I feel like people act like Phaedra literally like did, I mean, what she's accused of doing is bad, but I feel like they act like she physically harmed somebody, and it's bad. But the fact that they're still willing to have her on Watch What Happens Live on these shows,
and Dubai, and I'm like,
that says a lot. That tells us right there that there is more to that story, that she is not the one that just did that on her.
Because the thing about it is like, I don't think she originated it, but it's like, girl,
I don't either, but she should
not have repeated it. But that's not also a scene. Allegedly, that's not how you presented it to Portia, because you didn't say, Portia, you got this wrong. Exactly. You didn't say anything. You didn't say, because that is what you told her. You said you heard it from Candy. And I'm like, so that's technically not true.
Oh, so no, she lied. She lied.
Like, she flat out lied. And the thing about, she didn't tell Portia to say it on national television, which is why I was like, no, Portia could have went too. Because it's like, ma'am, Phaedra didn't tell you to say that, but also that's not the first time you talk cash money shit about this women. You said that Todd was cheating. You said that Peter was playing his waitresses in cooch and puss. You said something about a one-eyed African with Kenya. So that's not the first time you had a whole bunch of shit to say. Hence why you would, your dude that used to be with your quote unquote friend, you got off that show so quick. They gonna bring that back.
She did. Phaedra a mess now. And especially at the end, she got real messy when her and Apollo fell apart and all of that. She got real messy. So I agree. I do agree with her being off the show then, because it was getting bad.
Yeah.
She was just getting sloppy. And honestly, that's not the Feifei we know.
It's not, because it was like, that's like, girl, that's a little bit too far.
You're too smart for this. You're too smart to be doing this shit.
Correct. It was like, girl, that was like, that is so wild to do. I'm like, of all things. So it's like, I get, it's like, it's time and it's space. But here's the thing. Candy is a stubborn ass Taurus. There's no way in hell she's gonna back that down, because when she stopped being friends with Kim, that was it. She was like, no, I'm done with you. And it's like, yeah, and they never got back cool ever.
Candy is getting on my fucking nerves.
It was like, Candy, it was like, you can't keep her now. She is the person with the most tenure on Atlanta. They're not going, if she leave, it's gonna be her choice. They are not gonna get rid of Candy. And it's kind of like you go,
I kind of feel like Candy is like the Teresa of Atlanta.
She is.
Even though she's been on since season 2, not season 1. But I say that because Teresa not giving me nothing except for delusion. And she's been so overhyped that people think that she's right all the damn time. That's how I feel about Candy too. You're not necessarily right just because you're an OG.
Yeah. It was kind of like, you know what I mean? Candy has never given us strong storyline. No. She be giving us storylines. She don't just be sitting on everybody else's storyline, but it's not strong. And so it's kind of like, if Candy leaves, it's her choice. She will pack up her and her old lady gang and her wigs and her man and her food, and she'll go. Because the thing about this, I don't think they're going to, unless Girls Trip 2 does well, and also her cameo in Dubai does well, then they'll go, do we really want to keep Candy, or do we have to like, are we going to call Candy's bluff?
I just think that Candy knows where some of the Bravo bones are buried.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to do it.
But because I guess I should say this. I think that if Candy were not to be on Housewives anymore and they fired her,
mm-hmm.
it would turn into a Lanithia situation like we have now with litigation.
And I'm like, that is not the way I saw Lanithia going out if she left. I'm like, no. It's like, the thing about it is, it's like, you can't erase the history that is Nene Leakes on this franchise and Bravo, period. You can't just erase it because she said something. Because let's be very clear, she is not the only person alleged about Booger Sugar Cohen. She's not the only person who alleged that. Because two of them, like, I'm sorry, one of those persons is Brandy Glanville.
Mm-hmm.
She alleged it. I'm like, so why are y'all making it seem like it's just Nene? It's not. She's the first one to call him racist, though. And,
well, this is my thing. Kim, Nene did do a lot for Andy. Honestly, she didn't put him on the map, but she put Housewives on the map. That is the most memed, gifed woman in Housewives. When you say Housewives, it is Nene.
It's Nene.
I do think that, and she said, I paid for Ben's baby shower. I organized it. Yeah. Nene and Andy have had a relationship, a friendship.
They had a friendship, and you can tell.
Mm-hmm. And she feels backstabbed. Where I have a lot of problems with Andy Cohen, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The way he dismisses her is gross to me. Because she says, me and Andy need to sit down and have a talk. We need to have a talk. And he's like, I'm good.
He did.
Okay, Andy, because why? Because that needs to be televised. Okay.
Y'all need to be on the conversation. Sit there, the one that come on Zeus Network. That's the conversation that I want to see.
And get Nina Parker to mediate it and host it, because I think I've been done said that Andy needs to be done hosting the Black Housewives.
Somebody else. Let Nina do it. Let somebody else do it.
And I love Nina Parker. I think she's so good at what she does.
She's really good. And it's like, see, I like this energy. It's like, Andy, stop hosting all the reunions just because you on Bravo, because you don't watch all the shows, and we can tell.
And you kind of racist.
And it's like, sir, what you doing? And it's like, and as much as I felt like the bird lady was getting on my nerves, and she getting on my nerves on DC, how in devil, what you not gonna sit there and do and act like she the most violent person on Bravo? That's not even possible. Teresa Giudice is still very much on Jersey.
Hello? Teresa Giudice has flipped physical fucking, not only that, this is my thing with Teresa as well. Not only has she done it herself, she incites it, because she told Danielle to pull Margaret's hair.
And the thing about it is like, Margaret, you could say a lot. That would have been the day that I'd have been done with Teresa. It's like, I'm like, you are a coworker. Danielle, you're a grown-ass woman, and you made your choice. But yeah, when I find that out, because you tried to act like you had nothing to do with it, which is high key, Teresa's MO every time. I didn't tell them to do it. Yeah, stop acting like you didn't do any influence.
She told her to do it.
It was like, come on, girl.
And then when she didn't get her way, and they broke the fourth wall and said she's not
done, she was flipping the fuck out.
She flipped off the camera. She threw the drink. She took to hit everything on her way out. Like,
it was like you were mad. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, you didn't think they were going to show that. That's why you fucking pissed. It's like, y'all not. I'm like, as much as I give it to Tick Tick Boom, because I like to give her nicknames. However, it's like, don't do that. Y'all just didn't edit the shit. Because Vanderpump Rules have been fighting since day one. Y'all not gonna sit here and y'all like, see this. You're dealing with a audience where when it comes, and I've noticed that with the Black Housewife shows, a lot of them. I'm like, which housewife do you watch? Atlanta and Potomac. I'm like, I can tell. And it's like, to a certain extent, I get it, because Atlanta was my gateway into Housewives, and then for some reason I was like, let me go watch New York. I started from the beginning with New York. Orange County, not so much, because that first season, my God, is it like, please, let this torture end.
It is.
Please.
That
I'm like Dallas's first season. It's like, girl.
I never got into Dallas. First
season is like, I tell everybody, started with the second season. Start with the second season because the first season is like Leanne Locken is the bright spot, and that was a terrible first season.
I never got into Dallas. I couldn't stand. I don't know. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, Leanne Locken's also the person I think could have worked in this house with Dorinda. It's like, y'all don't give Leanne no kind of love, and she would have fit in just fine. She don't know none of these bitches, and she would have fit in just fine.
Well, and the fact that they fired Leanne because she called, what was it? She called Carrie like a chirpy Mexican or something.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's not the worst thing she's ever done on the show.
It's really not. But then kept like Brandy after she actually said something so disgusting.
And they're like, oh, well, and then I think they looked at like it wasn't on the show. I'm like, yeah, but it happened in between those two seasons before the season, and it came back up. They're like, you just brought it back up. Hey, hi, it was on the timeline. It wasn't like right she there. Like was holding it safe and you only sent it to her in the DMs. That's not what happened. Because I remember people talk about it like, oh yeah, because she was like, if this gets me famous, I'll keep doing it. I'm like, but then you watched, you made that girl, you made Tiffany Moon, Dr. Tiffany Moon, anesthesiologist, sit there and watch this woman's tears. I'm like, get this fucking mic off of me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, same.
I was mic off of me.
When I tell you, I literally seeing that how Tiffany Moon was treated in Dallas, like made me so angry. I teared up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is fucking, what's that girl's name? I can't stand her.
Carrie.
Not Carrie, Barbie.
Oh, Cameron.
Cameron with a K. No shock there. I was like, I would actually, let me watch what I say because she'd be like, she threatened me. When I tell you, there's no way I would have been able to keep my cool with that one. No. There's no way I would have been able to keep my cool with that one. Because that was actually disgusting. And the way her family, Cameron's family got involved, her husband, her brothers, all them. Gross.
Yeah. And yeah, so shout out to Brittingham because here she was. And I'm not saying, here's the thing, I'm not saying what Leanne said wasn't problematic and racist and wrong, because very much it was. But when I saw Carrie trying to squeeze out a tear, I said, bitch, I know you fucking lying to me. And then on top of that, when the stuff with, I think it was Cameron's brother-in-law, he's like, you know, your culture is my costume. Why that bitch like that photo? And I said, see, this is what I was telling y'all about Brittingham. This is what the fuck I was telling you about her. I'm like, yeah, Leanne, what she said was wrong. Because I'm like, hey, hi, stop saying that. Leanne, shut up. Stop that. But also Stephanie and Cameron, why the fuck y'all didn't tell her that in the moment? It was so wrong. Why you ain't say nothing to her ass? Because y'all scared she gonna beat your ass?
Leanne might.
Right, she might. But here's the thing, Cameron, you're not the savior that you think it is, because one, you only did that to cover your ass.
Yeah, she did.
It's like you only telling her that at the party because you didn't want it to be shown back. Like, see, nope. See, I told you at the party, remember? It's like, yeah, but y'all, none of y'all corrected her in the moment because she wasn't saying it to a group of people. She said it to two people, and it was like, please stop doing that.
Yeah.
Please shut the fuck up. Also, Deandra, you said, well, yeah, she is racist. Then why the fuck were you her friend?
Hello? That was my thing. I said, but you were her friend.
Y'all were her friends and going, well, I'm like, then why? Wait a minute. Why are y'all her friends? Now it's a problem when you've been friends with Tiffany Moon for how long?
The math isn't math.
Girl, get the fuck out of my... Yeah, this is not about justice for Leanne Locken because there's no justice for that. No, she should have got reprimanded on period. However, she can come to XY's house. She could have came to Bluestone Manor. She actually would have been fun, even though like she's Debbie Downer. I'm like, yeah, because she don't like y'all asses.
Okay, let me ask them before we get off here.
Yeah,
who do you think I know they've rumored the next cast, but I don't know if they've actually.
Did they really? Oh my god, isn't it like with Giselle? It was like,
I think I saw Giselle. I can't remember where I saw, but nothing's been confirmed.
Nothing's been confirmed.
Who would you like to see on the next one?
So if I would love to see one season wonders.
Ooh, that would be
so cool. That would be fun. Not, well, Lydia don't count. She's not a one season wonder, but Deshaun Snow, who should have gotten a second season. It would be nice because one, all the shit happened. Her life fell apart the minute she got off that show. They're like, she's so boring. She was technically the only real housewife on that show. She really was a housewife. And it was like, I would love to see Deshaun. I'm trying to think. Well, actually, no. I would love to see the dentist from Miami, Karen. I'm like, girl.
Oh, yeah. I
would like to see her. I would like to see. Oh, well, I guess is Joe considered a one season wonder? Because I'm trying to think if she was on the second season of OC.
Didn't she do like a friend?
I think she was friend of second season, and then her and Slade had some sort of spin-off. Shadows a hot funky.
Yeah, she was only on one, and then she was considered a friend of, but she was only a like actual housewife on one.
Okay, yeah. So it's like I would love to see one season wonders, but they're gonna have to dig in the crates for like the long haul, which is Orange County, New York, and Atlanta. They would have to like dig like, okay, who would we get? They would have to like that would be the bulk of it, would be those big three. Because for Potomac, they don't have any one season wonders.
No, because
they ain't got them.
Because I mean, Katie was 2, right? And Charisse was on.
Yeah, she was on 2 and 2, and then she was friend of season 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say season 3 she was friend of.
Yeah.
And then
right, they don't have any one season wonders. It's like it would be the bulk would be from Orange County, New York, and Atlanta. Well, Jersey, because one of the twins can come back. Yeah, one of them. I'm like, I don't know which one. Yeah, bring both of them back. Who cares? So it's like I would love to see one season wonders. Also, they're teasing that they might do the husbands, and I'm like, basically, y'all want to send the Jersey husbands on vacation.
I'm done with. I
don't care about your husbands. I really don't.
I really don't. Like people have hyped them up so fucking much. It's so annoying. Like I don't.
It's like they're not as interesting as people think they are. And I would love like a friend of season, because there's a lot of people who've been like, oh, y'all mix it up, but they don't have a peach. Yeah, and justice for Shamari, because she's another one that I'm like, oh, she deserved a second season.
I would have liked to see her on a second season.
Yeah, because when she was on the Encore, I'm like, this is why I like Shamari. She should be on here. It's like I kind of like her. Like,
they're supposed to be doing another Encore.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think I heard Kendrick say that they're doing another one.
Yes, because they need to. Because that actually was a good show. I honestly don't understand why Pam was there. But I like
we ain't got enough time to
got enough time, because Pam was like, oh Lord, not pray the gay away. I can't do this. No, let me just get on up off of here. No, because it's like if they're doing another encore, I would love to see it, because there's so many little groups. As long as it's not the men, because that versus last night just showed the cracks and what it is on these little boys when they be on the Scream tour. I hope these not the vocals they be giving y'all.
I didn't get to watch it live, but I've been seeing, of course, that's like
you see the tweets, and I'm like
Ray J and Mario. Oh, those were like
when I tell you, Mario was like them dudes were his sons last night, because my God, he took this seriously. Ray J did not. How?
Randy commenting on Ray J's thing.
I'm sorry, your sister can't be the vocal Bible and you sound like that. When I told you should be a vocal rest, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Girl, you have his personal number. We don't need to see this.
Well, then he was deleting her comments, and she was
said,
like,
since we delete comments,
I was like, oh my God,
she really. I'm the eldest in my family, and I have a little brother. So it's like, and my eldest sister, I was like, oh, I feel this so much, but I honestly would not be fighting with my brother in the comments. Oh, we had a call by now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I would be muting Ray J and Versus for like at least 3.5 weeks.
Ray J is so petty though. I would not be surprised if he like blocked her number or something.
Yeah,
like I don't want to talk to you.
I think that's probably why it's like, oh, since we deleting comments, I'm like, I would never fight with my brother in the comments.
No, my mom would kill us.
My mother would be like, what are you doing on Twitter? My mother doesn't have a Twitter, because somebody was getting a screenshot so quick. It's like, God damn it. Stop.
My mom would be like,
my mama.
My mom would be like, don't be on here.
I'm surprised Sonia's ass ain't go. So we're having a family meeting about what the fuck just happened. Because I was like, all I hear is sharp notes. I hear people singing under notes, and Mario was like, let me sing in 7 different octaves on your ass. I'm like, what
I'm not surprised.
What? And Omarion, I'm like, why are you and your very hot ass brother simulating eating coochie with watermelon on the fucking stage? I'm like, what
Omarion
is
always does
this?
the fucking
I'm like,
most.
can
He's
y'all
so
sing,
annoying.
please? But apparently Omarion didn't want to sing any songs that had Chris Stokes. I'm like, so why are you here?
Oh my God.
So then what? I'm sorry. What? Name a Chris Stokes song. Name a B2K Omarion song that Chris Stokes ain't involved in the last
Seriously.
8 years. I don't know, girl. But it's like, I'm like, oh, the R&B boys are down bad. And now I see people bringing back up Usher. I'm like, let me just be very crystal clear. Usher Raymond IV has no contemporary. There's nobody here, not Chris Booger Sugar either. Nope. I said what the fuck I said. He is not his contemporary. He is not his
I hate when people say that.
It's like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, what about Justin? What about his ass? That boy can't beat his feet. He's like, beat your feet. What the fuck?
Justin who?
Timberlake. That's the other person they throw up. I'm like, what is it crack or is it meth? What are you talking about? Usher don't have no contemporary. Missy don't have no contemporary.
Not Nan, Justin, Bieber, Timberlake,
not a one. Not even Justin down the street from me. Absolutely not. No. You will never see a Usher versus because who going up against him and winning? Nobody. Chris could give him competition. I'm like, competition for what?
No.
Usher is the person that needs one. He has a Vegas residency, which is duh and hello. That's also the person that should be doing halftime.
Ooh, I would love.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, the more y'all talk, it's like, why the fuck isn't Usher Raymond IV on this fucking stage?
Yeah, because they could have kept that J-Lo and Shakira, but that's a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, Well, before we get out of here, 3 things. Congrats, and I hope your day is amazing. Because you've been putting in the work. Like, girl, I got to get this work done. Second thing, thank you for coming to Mocha Minutes.
Of course.
Please come back anytime. Because we gonna drag these heifers.
We sure are.
And the third is, please tell everybody how they can find you and your show.
So you can find my podcast on any platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that, Google Podcasts. It is Who Asked Me Podcast. And then my Instagram for my podcast is at Who Asked Me Podcast. And my personal Instagram, if you want to follow me, is at Zelle's Life, SELLESLIFE.
Yes, please follow, please download so you can hear her act a whole ass fool, because that's all I know. I only listen to funny people that make me laugh and they make me think all the things, because y'all don't understand. We see this housewife shit and we be in DMs like, girl, I know you see this, right? I'm like, yep. Good, because let me just tell you, Zell was my touch and agree partner when it came to Summer House. I'm like, so y'all don't see this shit? Nope. Because I'm like, they're like, you want to fight for your life on Clubhouse? I will not. I'm like, y'all can think whatever you want. I don't care. It's like, it doesn't matter that Lindsay Hubbard is my birthday twin because we have the same birthday. That does not matter. First of all, fuck Paige.
But hello?
First of all, but most of all, fuck her. Period. Dot.
Period.
It's like, and I'm like, no, y'all. And Sierra
need better friends. That's all I'm gonna say with that. But she young.
I sound like Erica Janelle. I was gonna say something. I'm like, no, let me shut up.
I have to pull myself back from talking about Sierra sometimes, because I have to remind myself she's young. However, there's a few things with her as a Black woman.
It's like,
I'm just like, okay, all right.
Y'all fighting over this tall man. Notice I didn't say handsome. I said tall.
Tall white man.
And they're like, why do they fight over him? Because he's tall. He's not handsome. He's tall.
I don't even think Lindsay was necessarily having an argument.
Because she wasn't. She was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? It's like, girl, you're not her friend. I'm like, I'm very confused. Y'all are not friends. Well, as a girl's girl, y'all are not friends. Y'all literally live in the same house.
You're not a girl's girl, because when Lindsay was crying on Winter House, you didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I did not watch Winter House, and everybody always asks why. I'm like, 2 reasons.
I watched 2 episodes.
Austin.
Yeah, I watched 2 episodes and I was like, we're done here.
Yeah, see, I haven't watched that. I am tapped out on Southern Charm for this season, and I used to be like one of my problematic faves, and I was like, yeah, I'm good on this.
Yeah, I can't get with the Southern Charm.
I was like, yeah, I'm good. I didn't watch Winter House. I'm like, babe, I'll go watch. Just kidding. No, the fuck, I'm not gonna watch it. But
No.
but everybody, please follow Zelle. Please download the show. Please listen, because she be funny as hell. And please watch her stories because it's funny as hell. Because we be laughing. But I will be back next week. Continuing the summer is supposed to be fun. We're just going to talk about fun shit because the world is way too heavy. I'm like, I can't do this, and I'm not going to stress myself out, and I'm not going to ask my guests to stress myself out. So we might be talking about it would be Umbrella Academy. I'm not sure yet, but probably going to end up talking about the season finale of Stranger Things that I'm trying to get my mother into. It's so good. It
comes out the day before my wedding, and I'm like,
oh my God, yes. Oh,
I'm going to try not to stay up because the last 2 episodes are like the second to last one is like an hour and a half, I think I saw.
Yeah.
And they're like mini movies, pretty much.
Right. I was like, they're spending millions of dollars on this. I'm like, yeah, I can see why y'all doing that because we deserve to have good things. So I can't wait. But y'all, I will be back next week. Thank you. Bye.
Peace. The image of A Handmaid's Tale is being used by women's rights advocates in opposition to abortion laws, which, if you're familiar with the series, is a very appropriate comparison. But there's only one thing. I noticed that protesters usually only present themselves as June. There's never any mention of Aunt Lydia, the brutal enforcer of the patriarchy, or Mrs. Waterford, a key architect of her own oppression in exchange for privileges above lower caste women. That very dynamic is also applicable to the fight for women's rights. There is no voting bloc more stridently opposed to the assault on women's rights than black women voters. On the other hand, subsets of white women have been consistently reliable accomplices with white men in disempowering women, including themselves, in exchange for privileges above lower class women and or women of color. Imagine inviting black women to the fight that they've been fighting for generations since your ancestors first sunk their talons into their flesh. Imagine living in a country for centuries where black and indigenous and brown women have experienced the actual dystopia that you fear, and then believing that because laws finally impact you, this is where it begins. You are not the damsel to the white man's villain, you are the Bonnie to the white man's Clyde. The sooner you reconcile that fact, the better for all women. In the meantime, quit playing in black women's faces. We out here.